this
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. How's that sound down there?
It's good on me.
Sounds good here. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome to Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas for tonight's 2021 rivalry football game featuring your Trojans of Trinity High in Week 5 of our football season and live stream broadcast through Trinity Sports Network. Tonight's rivalry game is being played at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas, formerly known as Globe Life Field, featuring the Blue Raiders of L.D. Bell High and your Trojans of Trinity High. We invite all of our Trojan fans to continue to spread the word regarding our live stream broadcasting of Trinity sports teams. This live stream can be located by following one of two pathways. The first, by viewing the Trinity High School website. Click the Activities tab at the top, then click on Sports, then click on the Trinity Athletics online broadcast, or the second pathway is by downloading the mobile app from the THS Athletic website, which is also located under the Sports tab on the school's website. This week, our broadcast team continues our segment entitled Ask the Coach. Through this streaming event, we interview Trojan head coach Chris Jensen, asking the coach to reflect on last week's game, share this week's team mantra, and answer a few non-traditional, non-football related questions from either players, colleagues, and fans. So now, sit back, listen, and enjoy this segment of Ask the Coach. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome back to Trinity Sports Network and the Trinity Trojan football season, featuring our Ask the Coach series with head coach Chris Jensen. And tonight's Game 5 at Choctaw Stadium as the Blue Raiders of L.D. Bell High face off against your Trojans of Trinity High. Thank you, Coach Jensen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Trinity Bell Week. Do you recall your inaugural season, first season in, and your thoughts regarding all the hype?
Well, I really didn't understand it, when I first got over here. It used to be week 10 was the last game of the year.
Okay.
So the hype would build up all year long. And another thing, it would be on a end of trimester, a kind of a testing day where it was a half a day or whatever.
Sure.
And I remember the first time it was a game day, and I had my plan all together, ready to go. I went down to check my mail. Nobody was here, but our principal at the time was in there checking his mail and said, I think we were like 9-0 at the time. We were doing really well. And he goes, it's better to go 1-9 and that one be a win against Bell than it is to go 9-1 and that not be a win against Bell.
Right.
And I kind of laughed like that's ridiculous, and he just turned around and looks at me like, I'm not kidding.
It's serious stuff. Okay.
So
all right.
I got the importance of it then. So
sure.
It hadn't changed much.
All right. Well, share with us your thoughts and your critique on last week's game versus Boswell.
We have some unwritten goals, we talked about before in previous things about winning the first game of the year, get off to a good start. Well, the same true for the first district game. And I thought our kids did well starting out. We got the ball, took it down the field and scored. Defense held them, and then we had a turnover that was costly on the scoreboard and with morale. You kind of deflate. So we kind of responded from that and overcame that and stopped making those mistakes and played a little cleaner game. So it was one of those games where you're going to learn something each game, and if you can learn and win, that's a good thing. So that's what we did. Good
deal. All right. And then final question today. Share with us this week's team mantra and your focal points for preparing for Bell.
Our theme of the week is win by one. You know, regardless of what all has ever happened or is going to happen, whatever, all we need is one more point at the end of the thing than they have. And so, you know, we told our kids if we play our best game and they play their best game, we still got a good chance. You know, so it just comes back to don't worry about anything about how much you're scoring or not scoring or what's going right, what's going wrong. Just be patient, and we just need one more at the end, and that will be a win forever, no matter what the score is. So just kind of take the pressure off and focus on playing good football.
All right, great deal. Well, thank you to all of our football fans for joining us for this special pregame event featuring head coach Chris Jensen. Now sit back and enjoy the conclusion of our pregame broadcast as we prepare for this year's rivalry kickoff between the Blue Raiders of LD Bell and your Trojans of Trinity High. Football fans, and welcome back to Choctaw Stadium here in Arlington, Texas for the 2021 rivalry game featuring the Blue Raiders of LD Bell and your Trojans of Trinity High. For all of our fans that are technology savvy, we want to let you know that we have a new Twitter handle out there, so come follow the Trinity Sports Network on Twitter at TSN Broadcasts. And that ends with an S, plural form. At this time, let's pause as the Trinity High School marching band salutes Trinity High with the playing of their alma mater. The alma mater of Trinity High School being played by the Trinity High School Band under the direction of Mr. Mario Casanova. As the pregame rituals continue, we await the home team, the playing of their alma mater. This will be followed by the arrival of both teams to the field, our captains and coin toss, and then, of course, our national anthem. Again, football fans, if you're just joining us, welcome to Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This is formerly Globe Life Field here in Arlington. And it will feature the 2021 district rivalry game featuring the Blue Raiders and the Trojans. I want to remind all of our football fans that may just be joining us to follow us on Twitter. Our new Twitter handle for Trinity Sports Network will be Twitter, of course, at TSN Broadcasts. And that ends with an S, plural, broadcasts. We welcome your encouraging words. Any questions you might have for the team here at Trinity Sports Network, or if you have a question that you would like to pose to head coach Chris Jensen, just send that our way. Directing your attention to the turf. As the pregame rituals come to completion, the Trojans taking the field and beginning their march here in tonight's competition. At this time, the Trojans will take their position adjacent to the visiting stands, where they will perform their ceremonial sippy towel. So let us tune in at this time and direct our focus to the far sideline as we watch and listen in to the Trojans and their performance tonight of the sippy towel. The Trojans of Trinity High School and their ceremonial sippy towel as we prepare to start tonight's rivalry competition. At this time, let me direct your attention to the midfield stripe where both captains of both teams are taking the field for tonight's coin toss. Captains for the Trojans, number 6, Nye Mosey, number 7, Jaquan Black, number 19, Kedrick Corbin, and number 80, Elian Norwood. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's pause as prior to the captains and coin toss. A little misstep there. We thought that they were fixing to perform our national anthem, and we did not want to be in the way of that performance. So we'll direct your attention back to midfield here as the captains are taking their positions. Coin toss by the officiating crew. It's been won by the Trojans, who have elected to defer until the second half. So with the flip of a coin, we've determined our special teams for our kickoff. And so as the captains return to the sideline now, I direct your attention to the home sideline down near the east end zone, around the 30-yard line, where I believe it is the high school choir from L.D. Bell that will be performing tonight's national anthem. So let's pause at this time, celebrating America, honoring the red, white, and blue, as we listen in to the singing of our national anthem. If you're just tuning in, we want to welcome all of our football fans to Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where our pregame ceremonies and rituals have finally come to conclusion, and we prepare for our 7:30 kickoff, 7 o'clock kickoff for the 2021 rivalry game between the Blue Raiders of LD Bell and the Trojans of Trinity High. Once again, I'd like to welcome to the booth Coach Jay Finch. Coach, it's great to have you here in the booth against us once this week.
Hi, Damon. I appreciate you. You don't know how hard it was to negotiate with Coach Fuller before he would give me the headset. I think he was afraid of what I might say this week, but he finally let me have it. So that was nice of him. Nice to be with you.
Well, it's good to be here. As the Trojan special teams take the field, they'll tee up the football. As they won the coin toss, they elected to defer until the second half. The ball being teed up by their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner. Too deep back for the Blue Raiders.
Damon, we have an issue tonight, and we're going to have to find some exciting things to talk about. Because this is on 33, we are going to be suffering from the dreaded red hat.
All
and
right.
If no one at home knows what that means, there's a little guy with a red hat, and every time he walks on the field, it's a commercial, and everything stops. So we've been waiting for Mr. Red Hat to leave before we can get the game started.
And he's finally stepped off the sideline. The official is up talking to the kicker, ready to take position here. So Cotner will take the football. He'll tee it up. And with one blow of the whistle, we will be underway in our 2021 rivalry game in the HEB School District. A beautiful evening here in Arlington, Texas to play football. Here's the kick, high, end over end, deep, and it's going to bounce into the end zone, and that will be a touchback for the Blue Raiders.
What a great kick.
Nice hang time.
Set it on about the 2. I mean,
Yes.
that was just a really, really good kick.
Yes, absolutely. Great way to start the game. Check, great start. Good start for our special teams. And so the Trojan defense will take to the field for the very first time this evening. This will bring up the Blue Raiders' first possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 25-yard line.
If you've been watching Bell in the past, you've seen them in what is called the flex bone, quarterback under center, trying to run a lot of option. They've gone back to more of a spread look.
Here's the snap in a shotgun formation. They hand it off to the running back, and he is wrapped up by the front of the Trojan defense, brought down. Gain of 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Blue Raiders from their own 27-yard line.
Well, that's proof that Bell watched film. That was the same play Weatherford had some success with last week. They were going to try to see what Trinity had done to correct that.
Here's the snap by the Blue Raiders. Twins to the far side. Split receiver near. Shotgun formation with a lone back. Audible from the sidelines. Here's the snap. It's a give to the back. He's back near the line of scrimmage. Looks like maybe a gain of 1 on the play, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 28-yard line.
First series is a big series for the defense. Kind of set a tone. The expectation is that Trinity's going to win this game. Bell understands that expectation, and if Trinity can go ahead and get them off the field in 3 to start this, it kind of sets a tone for the rest of the game. 3rd down, sometimes an issue. We need to make sure we get it out of here, looking for some kind of pass, probably something to the flat.
Same formation for the Blue Raiders. Shotgun, man in motion to the far side. Here's the snap. He's rolling to the far side, looking into the flat. That pass is going to be way beyond the reach of the receiver, and it will fall incomplete. So that's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Blue Raiders here in their first section.
Had a really good rush off the backside from Kiri Galiati. Did a nice job holding up, not making too much contact. Forced a rushed throw. I think it was pretty well covered anyway, so that's a really good start. Nothing silly right here. Get the ball back. I doubt they kick to number 2. Just guessing.
So here's the snap. Punt team is on, and it is a shank of a kick. is going to take a dead bounce, and it's going to be downed by the special teams of the Blue Raiders inside their own territory. So the Trojans will take over their first possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Blue Raider 48-yard line.
Talking to the coaches, they were very, very complimentary of number 90, Mark Hernandez, the nose guard. They really felt like he was a good player up front, clogging the middle. We'll see how Trinity's front front seven handles this coming off the ball.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle, split receivers, shotgun formation. They take the snap. Number 2, Gordon, on the quarterback keeper. It's going to be a gain of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 46.
Interesting that Gary Maddox is not in the game right now, and I did not see him taking many snaps in pregame. We have no idea what's necessarily going on, but Gary is on the sideline but not in the game. Keyshawn Berry's in right now. And already it looks like Cade's coming in, and they're moving Ollie back to the tailback spot.
Trojans breaking the huddle. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew under center. I formation. Here's the snap. It's a pitch to Gordon. He goes right, cuts back to the left, across the field, and he's going to be wrapped up by the Blue Raider defense and brought down for what appears to be a 1-yard loss.
And again, just got to stay with the play. You're not going to make everything go score. Take the yardage that you gained. Don't go backwards trying to make something special.
So the Trojans, loss of a yard on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 47-yard line. Bartholomew still in, quarterbacking for the Trojans. Split receiver far side, I formation. Here's the snap. Bartholomew takes it. He fakes the handoff. He's rolling to the far side, finding his receiver. That ball is pulled in.
What a nice strike. Good job by Cade getting on the outside. Receiver ran a nice route, got himself open. That was number 19, Kedrick Corbin. Ball's on target, convert, get the first down. That's a really good job.
So sufficient enough yardage on a nice 3rd down play and a nice call by the Trojan offense. So that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 34-yard line. Split receiver near side, I formation. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to 2. Gordon's up the middle, down to the 20, and he's tripped up by the turf, and he will fall down somewhere inside the 20. We'll call it the 18-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
I see an adjustment that Bell has made. Number 90, as I said, has been playing, their nose tackle has been playing right over the center. It appears that he is going to move with our strong side. So they're going to try to put him over where our tight end is to kind of take away some of our off-tackle power stuff. Let's kind of see if that's what's happening as the game progresses.
Indication by the officiating crew, timeout being charged to the Blue Raider defense. And so that'll be their first timeout here in the first quarter of the game, as we have 8:51 on the clock remaining. Let's take an opportunity here to look at our first quarter senior spotlights. This first quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our men's and women's basketball teams under the leadership of coaches Mark Valines and Brent Gillum for the men and coaches Doug Spoyer and Jenny McKinney for the ladies. This offensive spotlight features Alex Luna, number 87, a 6'2", 185-pound tight end. When talking with Alex, his plans following graduation, he desires to attend Blinn College and major in biomedical engineering to pursue a career in the prosthetics field. A very unique major and career by Alex, so we wish him all the best of luck in tonight's competition through his senior year and also in college and beyond. We return to the field of play. First down for the Trojans. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to number 2, Gordon, and he will gain, looks like 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 15-yard line.
Got a good pull on that. You see that Penny Masima looked like he was up and through the hole that time, lead block. That was a nice job.
Second and 7, Trojans, I formation, split receiver near side. Here's the snap. He takes the ball, hands it off to Gordon. Gordon's up the middle of the 5, the 4, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
if we're going to find a huge difference right now in the differences in the program, Trinity's offensive and defensive lines, that's kind of where the main huge difference is, the talent gap, so to speak.
Right.
I think that'll change as Coach T.J. Dibble kind of gets the program going, but right now we have a huge advantage up front.
Special teams on for the Trojans. There's a snap. The ball winds up muffed and on the turf. Looks like it's recovered, but blown dead. So the point after is no good. So with 8:16 remaining in the first quarter of play, the Trojans out in front of the Blue Raiders 6-0.
What happened on that? The snap was initially high. Kay did a good job catching it and missed the tee on the way back down and trying to get it on the tee. So we didn't have a chance to get that kickoff. Giving away points, you always get a little nervous about that.
Right.
You hope it doesn't come back to bite you, but it always kind of makes you nervous.
Yes, especially in a very close game.
We hope it's not. In a rivalry game. Let's say in a rivalry game.
Right, in a rivalry game. That's true. In a rivalry game. A beautiful evening here this evening at Choctaw Stadium, formerly Globe Life Field here in Arlington, Texas. Looks like it's 80 degrees at this time.
You know, I think it's kind of interesting. We noticed that Gary's not in the game. Maddox is not in at tailback.
Right.
And we only think of the fact that, well, he's got backup running backs. Ollie is the quarterback. Well, Ollie is kind of the backup running back as well. And we're able to do that because of the quality of play we've gotten out of Cade Bartholomew so far this year.
Right.
You saw the pass that he threw. He is very, very good on the run, throwing the football. He runs the offense very well. So it gives us a little bit of an opportunity to mix and match, so to speak, what our talent has.
Right. You have a widespread arsenal, very deep, very talented. We've got outstanding athletes in our skilled positions. And so the special teams will return to the field of play. Once again, number 91, Cotner, will tee up the football for the Trojans. The Blue Raiders still with 2 deep, standing at the 10. There is the whistle by our officiating crew.
Kickers are unique. Let's see if that missed extra point bothers Kelson any right here.
Here's the approach and the kick. It's end over end, high, long, down around the 2 again.
Oh, no.
And
that
will be a
that's so unfortunate.
That will be a kneel down by the Blue Raiders. And that ball will stay put, Coach Jay, if I'm not mistaken. You may want to explain this to our little people here.
Well, the rule says you may fair catch a kick. If it's beyond the 25, closer to the 50, you can take it where it is. If you catch it inside the 25, you get the ball at the 25. The Bell receiver on that was somewhere in between fair catching and running it back, and in that process downed it, thinking that would be the same as a fair catch, and it's not the same. So Bell's in a hole.
So here we go. It's going to be the second possession for the Bell Blue Raiders. Trips to the near side, shotgun formation, man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a give to the back. He advances the ball out near the 5-yard line. Looks like a gain of 1 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Blue Raiders from their own 5-yard line.
Makes it a little nerve-wracking to throw down here. Haven't had success in that first series, doing a lot of running. Let's see if Trinity can get good field position again, if we can get them off the field without a first.
So the Blue Raiders breaking the offensive huddle. Again, similar formation, trips to the near side, shotgun formation with a lone back. Slot receiver in motion. Here's the snap. He's rolling to the near side, looking, finds a back, and he trips over the turf, winding up on the ground.
That is an illegal play. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. You'll see that a whole lot where the outside receiver comes off and is blocking. He has already initiated, and the receiver catching the ball is downfield. And you cannot get a side judge to make that call.
Right.
But there are a lot of teams that do it. It's very, very effective and very, very illegal.
So it's a gain of 1. We'll call it 3rd and a long 7 here for the Blue Raiders. Twins to the far side, split receiver near. Shotgun formation. Pressure brought by the Trojan defense. The officiating crew blowing that as an incomplete pass, although that looked as that he was hit.
It was close. That's one of those you go ahead and pick it up and run in the end zone and let the referee make a decision.
Exactly.
I don't know, and the whistle might have blown. We're not in a position that we can hear that.
Sure.
I'm getting a nod from Jake that the whistle did blow.
So no gain on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and long. The Blue Raiders special team on the field. Here's the snap for their punt team. That ball is up. A little bit better punt this time. It's going to hit down and take a Blue Raider bounce. It's going to be picked up by Gordon, number 2. And he's going to be chased down by the Blue Raiders. Flags flying on the play.
Ollie needs to be quiet and go back to the bench. We have a face mask on this. We're going to get that yardage back.
So a conference by our officiating crew down in Trojan territory. Decision. Here's the call by the official.
Seems like they're going to walk that off on us.
Illegal use of the hands.
Blocking the back.
Blocking the back.
They missed the face mask. I don't know how they missed it, but they sure did.
That's going to be charged to the Trojan special teams. So they'll mark off the penalty. The Trojan offense will set up shop. This will bring up their second possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 32-yard line.
Ollie still in at tailback.
Cade Bartholomew, number 12, quarterback, and hands the ball off to number 2, Gordon. Gordon advances the ball out. He'll be brought down at the 36-yard line. Be a gain of 4 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Trojans.
Staying on schedule, staying ahead of the chains. Don't have to score on every play. Just work the ball down the field. Let's see if we can get some points out of this.
So the Blue Raiders in what looks to be a nickel package here with a nose guard defensively.
Now, I think they're a 50 front, 5 down linemen trying to stop our run, 7 in the box, manned up on the outside.
So Bartholomew takes a snap, hands it off to number 2, Gordon. Gordon going to advance it out to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 4 more and a post-game penalty flags flying on the turf.
That has happened a whole lot to that player. Just a little bit extra after the whistle. Now, what's interesting, there is no whistle. You know, they don't blow whistles anymore. And I remember when we played, and even when I coached early on, they blew the whistle to stop the play, and they don't do that anymore. They want the play to just end. But dead ball personal foul when you got 3rd and 2, that's just a killer.
Yes. Dead ball personal foul being charged to the Trojan offense. So that will back them up 15 yards from the spot. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long from the Trojan 25-yard line.
Have a chance. Bell kind of has a chance to flip the field here. You know, remember they were down on the 3. They got a chance to get some field position if Trinity can't get something out of this.
Trojans break the offensive huddle, I formation, split receiver to both sides. It's a draw play to number 2, Gordon. He off to the right, spins back, and he'll advance the ball back up to the original down marker. So that's going to bring up a 4th. It looks like it's going to be inside. It could be a long 9 here for the Trojans. And I believe they will elect to bring on their special teams and punt the ball away here in their second possession.
That's a bit of a win for Bell. That's a bit of a win. Trinity helped them out a little bit, but getting them off the field. Last year, I don't know that happened a whole lot. I think Trinity walked up and down the field early in the game pretty easily. So, and Trinity's not prepared. They don't have all 11 out there.
The clock ticking here in the first quarter of play. 5:20 remaining on the clock as it continues to tick. 5, 3, 2, and the Trojans will be forced to call a timeout. And I'm sure that Coach Jensen has a few choice words for his special team players as he's out on the field first.
That's a lack of communication among the coaches on the sideline. You know, we're in punt ready. If that is a call that you'll hear over and over, and that needs to be echoed by everyone on the sidelines. Punt ready, punt ready. That lets them know that, hey, there's a chance we might be punting on this series. You need to start working this way. And from the looks of it, the players that were missing were the defensive players, and it did not get communicated to them down to that end.
So the Trojans take their first time out. here in the first half. And so during this timeout, let's take an opportunity to spotlight our other senior. This first quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our gymnastics team, coached by Becky Shaw and Travis Coburn. This defensive spotlight features Malachi Johnson, number 90, a 6'3", 222-pound defensive lineman. When talking with Malachi, he shared that his plans following graduation, he would like to attend the University of Oregon and major in space science. So best of luck to Malachi throughout this football season, his senior year, and through his collegiate career and what life will have for him in his future. So we return to the field of play, both teams on.
And staring at the Red Hat. Red Hat is on the field.
Yes, he is, right down here at the east end. Near the 20, he finally gives the signal to the officiating crew that let's roll. And so the Trojans special team, punt team on the field. It's 4th and a long 9 for the Trojans from their own 33 as the punt team here.
Interesting, Ollie is on the punt team. Haven't seen that. There's logic in behind that. We get the low kick that we saw at Westlake, and it's going to work out really, really well. But the logic of putting Ollie Gordon on the punt team is it takes away their willingness to rush with abandon.
Right.
Because now you have an offensive threat on there. Whether they snap it to him and fake it or not, you have to be aware of it. So that's a really good tactical change. And just so you know, Ollie could play a little defense if we needed him to. He is not a liability at all.
No, not at all. So the Blue Raiders take the field. This will bring up their third possession of play here in the first half. 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 21-yard line. Twins to the far side, split near, shotgun formation, long back. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to the back over the right side. It's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 24.
We kind of have to watch. Here, sooner or later, they're going to go with a play-action pass on first down. They're going to see if they can catch us sleeping. May try to push the ball up the field and get something deep. You know, going to run it on first down every time. We're going to stop it for nothing.
Right. Blue Raiders break the offensive huddle. Similar formation. Twins far side, split receiver near. Shotgun formation with a lone back. Here's the snap. Low snap, it's a give again to the back. Going to be a gain of what appears to be almost 3 on the play. We'll call it 2.
That's a unique play. It's the second time they've run that. It's called a GT. They're pulling the guard and the tackle, in this case, on the Trinity side of the field, so opposite of where we are with the camera. And normally you're looking for that to come all the way off tackle, but it appears like they're trying to trap our defensive tackle and run that up inside, hitting it a little bit tighter. Kind of a different look. It's a unique play.
3rd and a long 4 for the Blue Raiders. Trips to the far side, shotgun formation. He rose to the far side, and that ball looks to be, in and out of the hands of the Trojan defensive back. Falls incomplete for the Blue Raiders, and it appears that they will bring on, for the 3rd consecutive time, their special teams to punt the ball away.
Some kind of miscommunication on that one. They were looking for somebody in the flat, and nobody ran to the flat.
Except our defensive back, who almost picked that right up off the tip of the turf.
And if people are wondering, we kept saying flat. Flat is about from the line of scrimmage, about 10 yards deep, and from the hash mark to the outside.
So here's the snap by the Blue Raiders. He gets the punt away. It's somewhat of a spiral. It's going to be fielded by number 2, Gordon, who slips on the turf. It'll be downed, and that'll bring up the Trojans' 3rd possession of play here in the first half. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 35.
Not the worst thing ever. One less time he has to get hit.
So the Trojans, with their 3rd possession of play, split receivers to each side, break the offensive huddle. Quarterbacking, number 12, Cade Bartholomew, I formation. Here's the snap. A give to number 2, Gordon, over the left side. A quick cut back, and he's across the 40, down to the 42-yard line.
Good job staying up in the hole, not trying to bounce it outside, taking what we're given, 7-8 yards at a time. That's pretty good. We'll take that.
It's a nice average. I don't know too many coaches that would not take that on every first down of every play they could possibly have.
I agree.
2nd and 3 for the Trojans from their own 42-yard line. Split receivers each side. Again, Bartholomew under center. Lone back. Gordon, here's the snap. Fake to Gordon. Bartholomew rolling to the far side.
Gotta
and
get it
he's
out of his
going to be
hand.
wrapped up by the defensive backfield of the Blue Raiders. Brought down for a loss of 8.
Fullback came open late. Kay just needs to keep his depth on that, give him a chance to go ahead and just lob it over that defender. They had nobody in the flat. We just didn't get the pass completed.
So for the second consecutive session, the Trojans find themselves, Coach Jay, behind the chains.
Yes, they have. Bell's playing. They're playing like a good football team, and I know people don't think they are. I promise they're being coached now, so they're going to make some plays.
Twins to the near side, shotgun formation. Gordon at quarterback finds his receiver at the 40.
Get upfield.
He's wrapped up. He keeps his feet. He's going to gain about 4 more yards right there, Coach.
That's a really good ball. I mean, that was such a good ball. It's 4th and 1. I would not be shocked if Trinity went for this. Putting the pressure on the defense to have to stop you on 4 consecutive downs. And I also wouldn't be shocked if Cade goes back in at quarterback. And he is not. Probably some kind of bash on this.
So it's a 4th and 1 for the Trojans from their own 44-yard line. Split receiver right here to the near side. The Trojans break the offensive huddle. They're in an I formation. Here's the snap by Gordon. He keeps it. He's across the 45.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
breaks free of the defense. He's down to the 35, the 25, the 15, the 10, the 5. Gordon in for another Trojan touchdown. When you thought the play was dead, Coach Jay, and then all of a sudden, out of the masses.
Well, sometimes you get in that pile and you stay tucked in behind your guys and they just can't reach you. And sooner or later it goes. Tino Foney last year played for us
Yes.
2 times in a JV game when I was still coaching. We ran quarterback sneak and they were both 50-yard touchdowns just because he refused to be tackled and outran everybody.
So the special teams on for the Trojans. Here's the snap, the point after, and that ball is up. And Cotner's attempt is good. So with 1 minute and 27 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play, the Trojans extending their lead over the Blue Raiders 13-0.
4th down at midfield. And, you know, they run the quarterback sneak for the first and score. That's got to be a little deflating.
Oh, absolutely. 4th and 1, and the next thing you know, you give them 6, or in this case 7, with the point after being good.
Right. It's difficult for them. Now, again, Trinity's defense is playing an outstanding game right now. Bell's still transitioning, trying to figure out change of offense, trying to get some new stuff going. But Trinity's offense is hit and miss right now. So the offense needs to get a little bit going. Defense needs to keep doing what they're doing.
So both special teams taking to the turf. Cotner, number 91, teeing up the football for the Trojans. Bell, Blue Raiders still with 2 deep backfield here on the kickoff. Minute 27 seconds here in the first quarter of play at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Trojans leading the Blue Raiders 13-0. Here's Cotner's kick, end over end, high, long, and that ball will bounce in, through, and out of the back of the end zone, and that will be another Blue Raider touchback. So this will bring about the Blue Raiders' 4th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Blue Raiders from their own 25-yard line.
They're bunched in a little bit. Something working to the outside.
Blue Raiders in a tight formation. The quarterback drops back, looking for his receiver, running back to the near side. That ball bouncing off the shoulder pad and incomplete for the Blue Raiders. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
That was some version of a screen, and not a good version. It's just not. I mean, if I'm picking screens, I'm going to go ahead and let that one go out of my playbook, and we're going to go find something different. You started the back in motion. It looked like you're going to run a wide flare. The better option on that would be to let the back run wide and throw to the screen back to one of the receivers inside. But that was not very pretty.
So the Blue Raiders in a shotgun formation take the snap, hand it off to their back. He's going to gain 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 28-yard line.
Stop right here would be good. See if we can get one more here going into the quarter. One more offensive possession going into the quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if Bell's offense begins to slow things down. Trinity's offense is on the sideline. They can't score. And start to snap the ball under 10 seconds on the play clock. See if they can kind of slow things down a little bit. Just get their feet back under them. Give their defense a chance.
Blue Raiders, twins to the near side. Man in motion. Here's the pass. It lobs long, and that's going to be intercepted and picked off by the Trojan defensive back.
We just have a lot of miscommunications right now, it appears, on Bell's side. And they're going to call something on Trinity, it appears.
Flag on the play. Indication by the officiating crew. Personal foul going to be charged to the Trojan defense. Roughing the passer being charged. And so that will negate the Trojans' interception. The official will mark off 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
It's a good call. I had to watch the replay to see if it was a good call because I was watching what happened downfield. Trinity defender's 3 steps away. When the ball is thrown, he doesn't stop, runs through the quarterback. That was the correct call. So, again, unforced error. When we could have had the ball at midfield, we give Bell their first down, move them out beyond their 40-yard line.
So 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 43. Twins to the near side, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. There's the give to the back. He's over the right side. He's going to gain 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Blue Raiders, giving them new life from their own 48-yard line. And again, for the second time here in the first half, we see what is, as you said, an unforced error by the Trojans, giving new life to their opponents, and that either needs to be fixed or that could be very costly down the road, especially when you get into those even early rounds of the playoffs, Coach Jay.
Correct. We keep talking about it. We just need to fix it. We just need to fix it. Well, we've needed to fix it now for a couple weeks, so it really, truly needs to be addressed. And you say, well, that's just a hustle play. Yeah, maybe. But it's something that you show them on film, and it's not the first time we've done something like that. You show them on film.
Right.
They've got to understand. We've got to play. Trinity needs to play with the intent of preparing for Week 11.
Yes.
Something tragic would have to happen for Trinity not to play in Week 11.
Right.
And right now we're playing every week.
Yes.
And there has to be a different mindset. Now, I've been on the staff before, and all we talked about was the next week's game, We've got to focus on the next week's game.
Right.
But in doing that, we were always focusing on making improvements,
Sure.
knowing that down the line we were going to have a chance to play a next week game that was a do-or-die tournament game.
Right. Absolutely. Well, the signal and whistle there indicated the end of our first quarter of play here at Choctaw Stadium. And with that, we want to send out one of our Trinity Sports Network shout-outs during the quarter break. This shout-out, a special shout-out, being sent to Clarence and Kay Jensen, who are tuning in to our weekly broadcast and enjoying Trojan football. The Jensens are unable to attend a live game thus far this season, but they are faithful Trojan fans. So from all of us here at the Trojan Sports Network, our entire team, and head coach Chris Jensen, thank you for your support, and we wish you a quick return to the stadiums this season.
Okay, so while the Red Hat's on the field, I got a question. I want our audience to play along. I have a question for you. 1997 was the last time the Blue Raiders had a victory over the Trinity Trojans. Could you name 3 of the top 5 grossing movies in 1997?
1997. Seems like yesterday, but it's been years ago, hasn't it, Jay?
It's been a long time, and when you look at the movies, they're all still really good movies.
Yes, they are. And folks, you can answer that. We have new social media that we are live with beginning this game. So if you'd like to tweet a response, you can go to Twitter at TSN Broadcasts, and that ends with an S. TSN at TSN Broadcasts, and you can tweet that in. We look forward to hearing from you, your responses.
No cheating now. Don't
no.
get on Google.
No Googler here. No Googler. So as we return to the field of competition.
Trinity has left one uncovered right now. They need to recognize. There you go.
The Blue Raiders with their 4th possession of play here in the first half. 2nd and 5. They take the snap, hand it off to their quick back. He's up across midfield stripe into Trojan territory. He'll gain 6 on the play, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Blue Raider first down.
Trinity brought an all-out blitz, a pass blitz, so to speak, on that. And we've talked about that before. When teams stack the box against Trinity and they take that second level away,
right.
If you get through that first line, you got a little bit of room to run. Bell was able to do that there and convert the first down.
1st and 10, Blue Raiders from the Trojan 46-yard line. They break the offensive huddle, trip formation to the far side, single back, shotgun formation by the quarterback. Man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a give to the back. He's hit near the line of scrimmage, and post-play flags all over the turf.
It came from the back. I don't know exactly what we saw.
Here's the call by our head official. Chop block.
Chop block.
By the Blue Raiders.
Chop block, for those that don't know at home, if you are blocking someone, one of the defensive players, and one of your teammates comes and goes low below his waist as a second blocker, that is called a chop block.
Okay.
We used to call it a post and chop,
right.
But that's illegal. It's a very dangerous block, so somebody did an oops for Bell on that play.
So it's going to be 1st and 25 for the Blue Raiders from their own 39-yard line. Twins to the far side. Quarterback in shotgun formation. He gives to his running back. He'll make it back. Well, it'll actually be a loss of 1 on the play, which will bring up a 2nd and long for the Blue Raiders from their own 38.
That's a good job by Trinity, number 88, playing right down the line of scrimmage. That was Darrell Watkins. He did a really good job of not working upfield on that. He played down the line, so as they made the first guy miss, he was right there in the hole. Well, good execution defensively on that play.
So as you said, it looks to me that you are absolutely correct here. The Blue Raiders slowing down the tempo here in the first half of play. In no hurry to break the huddle with 5 seconds on their play clock. Twins to the far side, shotgun formation. The quarterback rolling to the far side, looking for his receiver, and that ball incomplete, and flags flying in from the back official. Here's the call.
They're going to call interference or defensive holding. Let's see which one they call. He had his hands wrapped around the waist. I don't think it had an impact on the ball, but it's once again out in space, pretty easy to see. There was too much contact, so they had to call something.
So we giveth and we taketh away, as the old saying goes, Coach Jay.
We're very, very, very give friendly.
Yes, because we just gave up big penalty yardage and now gave a first down to the Blue Raiders at their own 49-yard line.
They got a first down that time without getting back to the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 from the 49. The snap they give to the quick back. He's met at the line of scrimmage and brought down by the Trojan defense.
One of my favorites is Ricky Reyes on that, getting through. Starting to watch on the line of scrimmage. They're starting to try to work low on our guys, cut them, try to get up in our legs, slow down the movement. When you create piles like that, that's good for you because you're not having to get hit in the face as an offensive lineman, but there's not a lot of places for your back to run.
That's true.
So that is a defensive strategy that Trinity often sees. Defensive linemen just kind of filling holes and jumping on the ground.
2nd and 10, Blue Raiders, trip formation to the far side, shotgun by the quarterback, takes a snap, looks for the slot receiver, finds him, pulls it in, and he's hit immediately by the defensive backfield.
That was exceptional. That's Tovo Asaeli. That was a little screen that Trinity runs, a one receiver screen to the outside. The outside receiver did a really nice job blocking, but they had nobody for Tovo coming inside out.
No gain on the play for the Blue Raiders. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 from their own 49. 9 minutes remaining on the clock here in the first half of play. Trips to the near side this time. Shotgun formation with a lone back by the Blue Raiders. Here's the snap. He drops back, looking to the near side, and that ball is going to be tipped and picked off by the Trojan defensive backfield. He's to the 30, the 25, he's to the 20, makes a move to the 10, the 5, and he will take it in for a Trojan touchdown.
Jacob Schaefer, he kind of likes playing here. He's made a play or two out here at this place.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. So the Trojans, with the interception, take it all the way to the house, and once again, add 6 more here in the first half of play. 8:38 remaining on the clock. The Trojan special teams come on for the point after to hold number 12, Cade Bartholomew, for the attempt. Number 91, Kelson Cotner. Here's the snap. The hold. Ball is up. And it's good. So the Trojans extend their lead. The score here at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Trinity 20, Bell nothing.
Again, for the opponent, and it happens to be Bell this week, you've given up a 4th down quarterback sneak for 50 yards. You've controlled the clock for at least 6 minutes, maybe 5-6 minutes there from the end of the first quarter through the second quarter. You're having some success. You're keeping Trinity's offense out off the field, and then Trinity's defense scores. So has to be deflating for you. Okay, I have an answer to my question.
All right, let's hear it.
Jake, did anybody tweet this in? Anybody give us an answer? Nobody gave us an answer. Need to start playing along at home. The top 5, we have all 5 of them. One of them was Men in Black.
Men in Black. The
good
original.
Movie.
Very
the original.
Good
movie.
Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith.
Gotta like
gotta
that.
love it.
Second, Jurassic Park.
I like dinosaurs.
Okay, that's good. The next one, and this is a great film, and if you didn't see it, I'm sorry, but it is worth renting, Liar, Liar. Have you ever seen Liar, Liar? That was a great movie.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
No, that wasn't Jim Carrey.
No, that wasn't Jim Carrey. Yeah.
I don't think so. You have to look that one up. I don't believe that's right. We'll see if that's right. And then the fourth one, and this one's kind of crazy. It wasn't released till December 19th.
Wow.
But it was one of the 5 top grossing movies, and that was Titanic.
Oh, my.
Okay, Liar, Liar was Jim Carrey. And then the last one was Star Wars A New Hope. And any Star Wars people out there, tell me what one that was. Was that a re-release? I don't remember which one that was. So those were the top movies the last time Bell had the opportunity to beat Trinity High School.
As the Trojan special teams take the field, Cotner, number 91, teeing it up for the Trojans. Here's the kick. Just want to remind all of our football fans who are listening in on tonight's broadcast that we've gone live on Twitter. So if you go to your Twitter page and then search for our handle, TSN Broadcasts with an S, you'll find us, and post-play, flags fly here at Choctaw Stadium. Following a short return by the Blue Raiders, we'll wait to see what our officiating crew has on their mind with a flag on the field. So a dead ball personal foul being charged to the Blue Raider special teams. So the officials will mark off the penalty. And this will bring about the Blue Raiders' 5th possession of play. Here in the first half, it'll be 1st and 10 Blue Raiders from their own 9-yard line. Twins to the near side, shotgun formation, a give to their quick back. He takes it, he advances it out to the 15. He'll be blown dead down around the 18-yard line. Oh, the 19-yard line, indication by the side judge, that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Blue Raider first down. So 1st and 10 Blue Raiders from their own 19-yard line. Again, similar formation, Twins near side, shotgun formation by the quarterback. Lone back in the backfield, looking to the sideline for what seems to be audible. Signals come in.
If you're wondering what's happening at home, they have a play, or they have a play call. They're trying to see if we're going to jump, and then they see how we align before the coaches send in the play.
Man in motion by the Blue Raiders. Here's the snap. Again, it's the give to the quick back. He's across the 20. Gain of 4 on the play for the Blue Raiders. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the Blue Raider 23-yard line.
And right now, Bell's kind of getting in a rhythm. Run, pass, run, pass. Kind of like Trinity, I'm always hoping we'll throw on first down. They might ought to consider it.
2nd and 6, Blue Raiders. Twins to the far side. Split receiver near. Shotgun formation with a lone back. Here's an audible by the quarterback.
Some sprint out to the top, possibly.
Here's the snap.
Nope,
Fakes the give. He does. Scrambles out. That ball's tipped, and it's picked off again by the Trojans, and he slips down, and he'll be blown dead on the field of play. But again, the defense coming up big. Another interception by the Trojan defense.
It's Daniel Munoz. Guess what class he's in?
Your calculus
He's
class.
one of my calculus kids. Shout out to my calculus kids tonight.
All right, there we go. There we go. I was hoping I didn't give the wrong math class.
I would have asked if that wasn't the answer, I promise.
So the Trojans are going to take over their 4th possession of play here in the first half. 7 minutes, just a little over 7 minutes here left on the clock in the first half. The Trojans leading the Blue Raiders 20-0. 1st and 10, Trojans deep in Bell territory from the Blue Raider 39-yard line.
It's really bad when the center forgets to come to the huddle.
Yes. Twins breaking the huddle to the near side, I formation. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew under center. Takes a snap. He hands it off to Gordon. Gordon on a hop with a hurdle down to the 20, the 15. It's a foot race, the 10, the 5, and he's in for another Trojan touchdown.
Okay, we're at that point in the game that I know it's early, but the way things are going, I think we have a pretty good chance. So everything we're watching for from right now is quality of play.
Right.
Can we continue to execute well? Doesn't mean you have to score on every series, but can you execute well? Defensively, can we continue to stop first downs, get them off the field 3 and out? That's what we're going to be looking for. That's what's being preached right now on the sidelines. You can tell your kids all you want to, play like it's 0-0. They know. So you're preaching discipline. We're preaching improvement. Let's have no silly penalties. Let's do things well.
Yes.
We got a broadcast on 33 tonight. Now, please don't switch over, but there is a broadcast on 33 tonight.
Right.
Let's show the audience that's watching the quality of play that Trinity has. So this is a great opportunity to show your brand as we move going through this. And Mr. Red Hat's back out.
So we're on a TV timeout here at Choctaw Stadium. 6:53 remaining in the first half of play. The Trojans extending their lead by 26.
Okay, I got another one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
And I'll tell you these. I'm not going to make you guess.
Okay.
Unless you can guess.
All right.
Who do you think the #1 draft pick was for 1997 in the NFL? And you'll know this
97.
name.
Wow.
There's no way you guess this, although he is a Hall of Famer. Do you remember the name Orlando Pace?
Yes.
Orlando Pace, I believe he was an offensive lineman for the Rams, if I'm not incorrect.
I think that's right.
He was that. All right, the #1 pick in the NBA. Was he on the original Dream Team? Oh, he's not even from here. He couldn't have been on the original Dream Team. Should have been, could have been. He played in the ACC, and he had a long career in the state of Texas. And that would be Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. San Antonio Spurs.
Yes, Wake Forest. Jake told me something else that was kind of interesting. What did you say about Tom Brady? We're still 2 years away from him being drafted in the NFL.
My goodness.
Which is really scary because we're talking 25 years ago, and we were only 2 years away from him being drafted into the NFL.
Exactly. Now look at all the championships at 2 different teams.
Yeah, still. He's the most successful bad quarterback in the history of the NFL.
So both special teams take the field here at Choctaw Stadium. The Trojans teeing up the football with their kickoff special teams. Number 91, the kicker, Kelson Cotner, teeing up the football. The Blue Raiders still with 2 deep. Here's the approach. The kick, it's end over end, long, a little shallow, and it's going to bounce in, through, and out of the back of the end zone. So that'll be yet another touchback for the Blue Raiders as they prepare for their 6th possession of play here in the first half.
They made an adjustment on who was back deep that time. Bell did. Still didn't have a chance to catch it, but there was an adjustment.
So the officials have marked the football. It's going to be 1st and 10 Blue Raiders from their own 25-yard line.
This is an interesting situation. You start having to ask yourself, how long do you leave your first group in? Because, again, you want them to get reps. They need to get reps. You don't want to take risk of injury. We're not through the first half yet. My typical thought is you play them through the first series of the second half on both sides of the ball, and then if you want to start getting some kids in, you do.
So the Blue Raiders with the football on their 6th possession. It's a give to their quick back. He brings it up to the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down by a very nice tackle by the Trojan defensive backfield.
Still wish he'd have brought his arms. You know, it's a great cut. That was the epitome of what we teach them or what is being taught to them now with the rugby tackle. I just wish he'd have brought his arms with him to finish that. But it was a great hit. Good job getting his head out of the way. Kept himself safe. That was a good play.
No gain on the play by the Blue Raiders. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from their own 25. The Blue Raiders being very careful with clock management, taking the time clock down with inside 5. Snap the football. He looks for the receiver. That ball through the hands of the Blue Raider receiver, falling incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Blue Raiders from their own 25-yard line.
That was the right choice. I didn't see which one. I saw a big green pole that's in front of me, but one of the defenders made a really nice cut if they had thrown it out to the flat. He threw to the second level as the right choice, just missed him. We still had somebody there, but somebody's about to go try to get that 3rd interception. 4th if you don't count the one they had to give away.
So 3rd down for that Trojan defense, and they've been spectacular here in the first half of play. Here's the snap by the Blue Raiders. It's a give to their back. He's hit near the line of scrimmage. Flag laid in on the play. Gain of what appears to be maybe 2 on the play. So depending on the penalty, that'll bring up a 4th and 8 for the Blue Raiders from their own 27-yard line.
Good, they're looking over to us to see if we want to take it. Always a good sign.
Here's the call by our officiating crew.
Okay, now this has happened against other teams before. If it happens once,
right,
it's an accident. If it happens twice, it's a question.
Right.
If it happens a 3rd time, it's being taught. It's happened twice.
It's happened twice, so we'll see if any point in time in the game it happens a 3rd time. So it's 4th and long. The Blue Raiders elect to bring their special teams on. So the punt team in position, back deep for the Trojans. Number 2, Ollie Gordon, back deep to receive. Here's the snap, and that ball barely gets away. Going to bounce at the Trojan 45-yard line. Looks like it will roll out of bounds. So the Trojans will take over their 5th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 44-yard line. And again, football fans, in case you're not catching our new Twitter handle, that's TSN. Initials for Trinity Sports Network, TSN, and then the word broadcasts with an S. So the Trojans on 1st down take the snap, hand it off to number 2, Gordon. He's down the far sideline, the 40, the 30. He's down inside the 20, the 10, stumbles, and he's in for another Trojan touchdown.
Wow.
So that makes 2 consecutive possessions. The Trojans have acquired the football for their next possession, and on the very first play have taken it all the way to the house against the Blue Raider defense.
Interesting, is the same guy.
Yes, number 2, Ollie Gordon.
He's
might
okay.
want to key that young man.
He's pretty good.
As long as he's in.
He's all right.
All right. So the special teams on for the point after. Number 12, Bartholomew to hold. Number 91, Cotner for the attempt. Here's the snap, the hold. The ball's up. And it's good. So with 5:14 remaining in the first half of play, the Trojans over the Blue Raiders 34-0.
Damon, there was a long time in between them, but Jacob over here, who's keeping me honest, said that was his third consecutive run. Because the previous one for that was the 4th down run that he took up the middle for the touchdown.
Right. That's right.
And then they had the ball for a long time.
Yes.
And then we got it back and scored. So, by the way, his yard per carry average is pretty high.
I would say more than likely it could be over 50 at this point.
I don't think it's that high, but I bet it's over. I bet it's over 20.
Over 20?
Yeah, I think so. He scored 4 touchdowns this evening. I think he could have Allen-like yards if we left him in through 3 quarters, but I doubt we will.
I understand. And rightly so for those other young men who serve day in and day out, give the blood, sweat, and tears to help prepare this first-team offense week in and week out. We salute you from the box. Want you to know we appreciate all of your hard work in helping our Trojan football team prepare. So as the special teams take the field, Cotner teeing up the football. Again, the Blue Raiders with 2 backs deep, standing at and just inside the 10. Here's the kick. It's high, end over end, hanging, fielded down around the 3. Indication by our officiating crew that ball is fair caught by the Blue Raiders, so that will come out to the Blue Raider 25-yard line. This will bring up their 7th possession of play here in the first half. So 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 25.
Okay. The Twitter's being handled by my son, Jake. Jake's funny, at least he thinks. He just tweets out. And I love my son. The opinions, he made it go away. What did it say? The opinions expressed by J12RF, which is me on my Twitter, are his own and not supported by the TSN broadcast.
A good disclaimer as we get the Twitter
rolling. That's just not nice. Wow.
So the Blue Raiders on 1st down take the snap, hand it off to their quick back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. It'll be no gain on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Blue Raiders from their own 25. Shotgun formation for the quarterback. They've got twins to the near side. Split receiver far. Lone back offset to the right. Here's man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a give to the quick back. He's
got some room.
Cuts to the right. He's got room. He's across the 40, the 45, up and across the midfield stripe. They'll blow him dead at the midfield stripe. Nice run by the Blue Raider backfield, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Blue Raider 1st down. So 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from the midfield stripe. Twins, far side, split receiver near. Shotgun, here's the snap. Again, it's a give to the quick back. He advances the ball, looks like he'll gain 2 on the play. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Blue Raiders from the Trojan 48-yard line.
You know, something really subtle right there that he's done it before, but the back is kind of caught up in there. They're trying to get him down, and Naimose, instead of piling in and pushing him forward, gets into the pile and pulls him back to get him to the ground, not giving away extra yards. Just a smart football player.
Similar formation by the Blue Raiders. Man in motion. Here's the snap. Fakes the give, this time rolling to the far side, looking out into the flat area. That ball in and out of the hands and drops incomplete for the Blue Raider offense.
Best throw of the night. That was a well-executed play. For those of y'all watching at home, that was called a flood route. Flood route means they've got 3 levels of receivers. So we keep talking about the flat. They had a player in the flat. They had a player at 15 to 18 yards, and then they had a player deep. And they're just trying to flood that sideline, flood those zones, and see which one pops open. It was the 2nd level that time. Good ball, just not caught.
So that incomplete pass brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Blue Raiders from the Trojan 48-yard line. Blue Raiders break the offensive huddle. Twins the far side, split near, shotgun formation. It's a give to the quick back. He's up the middle, then bounces out to the left. He's across the 45, and he'll finally be knocked out of bounds down near the 40. Preliminary indication he's going to be short. That's going to bring up a 4th and 1 possibly for the Blue Raiders from the Trojan 41-yard line.
Got to go for this.
3:10. And the clock continues to run here at Choctaw Stadium. Blue Raiders on their 7th possession of play. 4th and 1 from the Trojan 41-yard line. No harm, no risk, no foul here for the Blue Raiders, Coach Jay.
They're going to come power to this side, I believe. Maybe pull the guard. Guard steps up, tries to bounce. Oh, just not the place to go.
So the Blue Raiders snap the ball, run the quick back to the near side. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and there's flags all over the turf.
Because we had, again, somebody just doing something not real smart. You have guys that you want to get in the game, and when you put them in the game and they make mistakes, mental mistakes, it's hard.
Yes.
It's really, really hard. We hope that was a post-possession foul, which it should be called that way.
Right.
Now, depending on how generous the referees want to be, they may call this a live ball foul. Okay, post-possession. So it'll be Trinity's ball, but they're going to be back 15 yards from here. So it looks like we'll be starting on about the 29 maybe. And then on that run, back's got to understand it. Whatever the back is, it doesn't matter what team you play for. If it's 4th down and you turn your shoulders to the sidelines, bad things are about to happen.
Right.
You've got to stay up in there. You've got to keep working forward. This is a problem I see for a lot of teams. Golly, how far back are you going to go? This is a problem you see for a lot of teams that are gun-based teams on 4th down,
right,
where Trinity just got the quarterback sneak earlier and all he got through it.
Sure.
Just power right now. It's hard for them. They don't take snaps under center. They don't do those things all the time.
Right.
And so they don't have a good, solid 4th down run play.
So the Trojans offense, break the offensive huddle, I formation, the ball on 1st down given to Gordon over the left side of the line. Gain of what looks to be 5 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 from the Trojan 35. This is the 6th possession of play here in the first half.
Well, I just saw something happen that if it would have been Trinity, there would have been 7 flags on the field. But it wasn't Trinity.
So the play stands. Gain of 5 on the play for the Trojans. So to bring up 2nd and 5 from the Trojan 35-yard line. They break the offensive huddle, I formation, split receivers to each side. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Gordon. Gordon over the right side. Gain of 3 more on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Trojans from their own 38-yard line.
Trinity's in that horrible situation where this is a great opportunity to work on your passing game.
Right.
But everybody in the world would say if you start throwing the ball right now, you're rubbing it in.
And running up the score.
And what most teams need to understand, if Trinity's passing, you're lucky.
Right.
You don't want them running at you. Yeah. Throwing's a good thing. So, unfortunately, it's the appearances. And so, oh my heavens, stay on the ground.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle. Twins to the far side, I formation. It's a give to Gordon, and Gordon high hurdles the defensive front, and it'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan 1st down. So the officials mark the football. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 43-yard line. 1:20 on the clock here in the first half of play as we prepare for our halftime entertainment. Here's the snap by the Trojans. Bartholomew dropping back, looking down the far side, launches it. It's caught by number 2, Gordon. He's tripped up. He's on his feet, and he's going to take it in for a Trojan touchdown.
And all the Oklahoma State people are cheering. Okay, so what do we got going here? I don't see hands up. I don't see a flag.
I think we're having a sideline conference on was he inbounds or not, and now you've got head coach Chris Jensen having a discussion there with the side judge.
I'm not sure. They may have called him stepping out of bounds before the play. Golly, that's twice all he has caught touchdown passes that it didn't get to count. We had our first question from Twitter sent in. The question was, what's the closest score during the streak? And that score was 30-20 in 2008. Interesting about that 2008 team for Trinity that had that close game was a state quarterfinalist.
Right.
Good football team.
Yes. Yes. So the pass was ruled incomplete, if you're at home wondering what just happened. And so we return to the field of action. Bartholomew with the snap, hands the ball off to number 2, Gordon. And Gordon is wrapped up by the Blue Raider defensive front, brought down. No gain on the play. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Trojans from their own 43-yard line.
On the previous play, Bell didn't have anybody over there, and Cade really just wanted to throw it to Ollie immediately. Bell didn't have anybody out. Ollie went ahead and ran the go route. Something that I've seen that Trinity kind of needs to work on, and you'll hear this in college, is when you're running a deep route on the sideline, don't run on the sideline.
Right.
Because now you're forcing the quarterback to be perfect.
Right, exactly. The Trojans take the snap. Bartholomew drops back, finds an open receiver.
Wow, what a ball.
He pulls in the pass. Flags on the turf.
Let's see, did they rough Cade behind the play? Are they going to bring this back?
So we're waiting for our officiating crew to make the call right here. Here's the head official. Indication is a personal foul.
Right now, the best defense on the field is wearing stripes.
So it's a personal foul penalty being charged to the Trojan offense. So that will negate a nice play.
So for those that say Trinity can't throw the ball, Trinity has thrown for 100 yards on this series. And just so happens they've been defended really, really well by the 7 guys out there getting paid by the district.
So they'll mark off the personal foul penalty against the Trojan offense. It's going to be
3rd and a mile. You don't have this play on your sheet.
3rd and 25.
I'd throw it up to Ollie and say defending.
Looks like 3rd and 25 here for the Trojans from their own 27. I formation. Bartholomew takes a snap, hands it to Gordon. He breaks through. He steps. He's caught by the heel. He advances the ball out to the 40-yard line.
That ends the half, I believe.
And that signal and whistle will end our first half of play here at Choctaw Stadium, with the Trojans leading the Blue Raiders 34-0. At this time, fans, we'd like to request your attention to our field of play, where in the first half of our halftime entertainment will feature the Trinity Trojans, Trinity Trojan High School Marching Band.
I had another question while they're kind of coming out to line up. It looks like we may be doing a combined show here in just a second. But the question was 2008 the year that the Trojan O-line weighed more than the Cowboys? And that answer is actually no. That was one of our smaller offensive lines.
Right.
That was a year that we were really, really talented
Yes.
at the receiver position. Denarius McGee was the quarterback.
Correct.
We were coming off of a state championship in 2007, and Allen got us, and it kind of started the Allen thing.
Right.
But Allen got us in the quarterfinals, and that was one of those years, if looking back, and the coaches have talked about it, if we had gone spread like everybody else with Denarius and the receivers we had, we'd have been a tough out.
It would have been. It would have been. So the Trinity High School Marching Band taking their position across the field on the adjacent sidelines, and moments away from the beginning of our entertainment here at Choctaw Stadium, and it does look like there will be a combination performance.
We know there will be a combination drill team performance. That's just tradition.
And so as tradition stands, we see the ladies, I believe the Bells,
Yeah,
and the Troyans.
They're Bells. That's where they go.
Here in the East End
They're
zone.
Raiderettes. I have to answer that correctly because I'm married to a former Raiderette.
Oh,
and if
my.
you don't call them things correctly, I'll get yelled at later.
Well, that's why I looked to you, because I knew you knew, but I didn't know that you knew in such fashion.
I knew. Yes, they're the Raiderettes. Let's make sure that is correct.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to pause this time, direct your attention to the football field as we have combination performances here by both the Raiderettes of L.D. Bell and the award-winning Troyans of Trinity High. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome back to our halftime entertainment here at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. We want to pause at this time, and I want to take an opportunity throughout the remainder of this halftime to do several things. First of those is spotlighting our second quarter senior spotlights. Our second quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our athletic training program under the leadership of our two athletic trainers, Dr. John Brunette and Dr. Trina Hughes. This offensive spotlight features Hector Valdez, number 8, a 5'7", 155-pound wide receiver. In talking with Hector, following graduation, he desires to attend either Oklahoma State University or Tarleton State University and major in mechanical engineering. So we want to wish Hector the best of luck, not only in tonight's competition, but throughout his senior year, and then on through college and his life career in the future. At this time, let's pause for just a moment as we have featured the combination of the Raiderettes of LD Bell High School and the award-winning Trinity Troyans, and that was followed by the Trinity High School Marching Band. And so now we want to take just an opportunity and discuss some of our events that will be coming up this next week. Our Week at a Glance is our segment where we like to let you know of the athletic events that will be coming up over the next 7 days, and then hopefully we'll get some current first half stats from all of our statisticians here in the booth. And then I want to finish our halftime entertainment with a segment, continue a segment that we have entitled Meet the Coach. So let's take a look at our Week of a Glance, and this is for the week of September 24th through October 2nd. If you're following our Lady Trojans in volleyball, they are on a hot winning streak up until these last couple, and they are now 2-2, but have had a very successful preseason up to this point. And so on Friday, the 24th, tomorrow, the ladies travel across town for a district rivalry against the Blue Raiders of LD Bell, and that will be in the Bell main gym. JV starting at 5:30 and the varsity at 6:30. And then the following Tuesday on September 28th, the ladies continue in district competition by hosting the Kangaroos of Weatherford High School. That will be in the Trinity main gym. Game time JV 5:30, varsity at 6:30. And then on Friday, October the 1st, the ladies are going to host the Panthers of Pascal High School in the Trinity main gym. Game time tip-off, JV at 5:30, varsity at 6:30. So wish best of luck to Coaches Mia Lange, Zuela Adam, and Coach T, and all of our volleyball ladies who will be in action this coming week. Then in men's and ladies cross country, if you've been following our cross country teams, they will be taking a rest and a bye this week and will not be in action this week, but will continue action next week, and we'll have more details about that in days to come. So we move on to our men's and ladies tennis. Men's and ladies varsity tennis teams will continue their district action on Tuesday, September 28th, as they travel to Weatherford to serve it up against the Kangaroos at Weatherford High's main courts. The varsity will begin at 4 p.m. And then our men and ladies junior varsity tennis teams will continue their district action on Thursday as they serve it up against Boswell High. I think that's a typo I have there. I don't believe that's Boswell. I think that's Weatherford again. Best of luck to coaches Chris Yenny, Miguel Royer, and all of our tennis players who will be in competition. And then we move on to some of our other athletic events featuring our men's and ladies swimming. And our swimmers, our men and ladies varsity swim teams begin their preseason action on Saturday the 25th as they will compete against LD Bell. And dive time will be at 8 a.m. And then our men's and ladies varsity swim teams will continue preseason action the following Saturday on October the 2nd at the Grapevine Colleyville ISD Pentathlon. I can't say the word. It's a swim meet. It's a swim meet. Pentathlon. Pentathlon. I'll get it. Varsity. They'll start diving at 7 a.m. So best of luck to Coach Rich Campanero and all of our swimmers in competition. Sometimes I just can't get my tongue unwrapped from my eye teeth to see exactly what I'm supposed to be reading on this week at a glance.
What did we have, a 5-team meet? Is that what you're saying?
I'm assuming it must be a 5-team meet.
That's not called a pentathlon, I don't think.
You know what? I'm just reading what the athletic coordinator put on the deal. So I'm going to turn it back to you, now that you're here. You got some first half stats for us?
I do have some. I thought a pentathlon was like an Olympic event. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Okay. Stats aren't real impressive, but the score's better. If you look in the first half, Bell has 5 first downs, at least 3 of them from penalties, 71 yards total offense. They have run a total, and this is kind of interesting because this game is going pretty quickly. Not a lot of offense, not a lot of plays being run. They've run a total of 29 plays. So in 29 plays, they've got 71 yards, a whopping 3.63 yards per play. Trinity on the other, 3.63 yards is a rush. The number's a little less per play. But Trinity only has 250 yards of offense. And I know I say only. It feels like they've been running up and down the field all night.
Right.
They have 227 rushing, 23 passing. But remember, Trinity's had 100 yards in passing in the last series taken away.
Correct.
And I'll talk about something else in a minute, but I think it's a real important thing that sometimes we overlook. So don't let me forget to say something. I'm getting old. Sometimes I forget these things. But if you look at the individual stats on this, individually, wait, I'll get to it. Give me just a second. And we need to thank the Dallas Morning News for helping us out with this. It's kind of been a one-man show, but when you got that one man, it's not a bad plan. Cade has thrown 2 for 3 for 23 yards, plus 2 other completions that were called back that would have had him over 100 yards. Ollie's run 17 times for 235 yards. But he's only averaging 13.8.
13-8. Okay.
It's kind of a tough night. We did lose 8 on the one sack that they had, so that's why our yardage is a little bit less. Emmanuel Oluwasil, I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to go with Oluwasil, and if I mispronounced his name, I apologize to that, Emmanuel. But that's the Bell running back that's been getting the bulk of the carries. Has 13 carries for 37 yards. Roderick Hell was one that came in and popped one for a pretty good run. He's got 4 for 30. Take away that one run, and I think Bell is pretty close to being under 50 yards for the half. We've had two interceptions for Trinity, a third one that got called back, but that kind of leads me to the stat that is bothersome, and that is Trinity has 6 penalties for 81 yards. But there's a lot of hidden yardage.
Right.
So when you get that 15-yard penalty on the pass that was completed, Trinity went from having the ball on the 10-yard line to having the ball on their own 35-yard line. So that 15-yard penalty becomes a 55-yard penalty when you look at the hidden yardage that is lost when those things happen.
Right.
And you know, that's – you can't survive against good competition with those kind of errors.
Right.
So there are things they've got to find a way to clean up. They get a turnover. Turnovers are hard to come by at times. They get a turnover and they give it away because of a penalty. So there are things that just have to be fixed. And we've said that quite a lot, and I know they address these things. I talked to the coaches. It just hasn't fixed yet. And I don't know what you do exactly, but it's not been done. We did have another Twitter question, and this is a good question, and I've heard this question asked before, and I actually have an answer, which is really exciting. I'm not making this one up. The question was asked, why don't Trinity and Bell play the last game of the year? Traditionally for, I don't know, the first 40 games, 35 games, something like that, it was always the last game of the year.
Right.
We were in a district one year that involved the 3 Irving schools, Grand Prairie South, Grand Prairie. It might have been us, Haltom, Richland, Bell.
Right.
And we had been traditionally playing Bell in the last game. And we got outvoted because when we said, hey, we'll go play the rivalry game, the last game of the year, and the 3 Irving schools said, wait, there's 3 of us. How do we play a rivalry game on the last game? So they had a vote, and Trinity and Bell lost on being able to play rivalry games last week.
Right.
Now, the Trinity coaches, we were all a little bit upset that year, but then you realize this is no matter what the series says, this is an emotionally draining game.
Right.
It's an emotionally draining game for the kids because they want so bad to be successful, for the coaches because for no other reason they don't want to be the one to screw it up.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure. If you put that in week 10, now you're having to carry that pressure and turn around for week 11 into the playoffs.
Right.
So playing this game earlier in the year, although it's not as fun as finishing the year up against Bell, it takes some of that pressure away that you see mount later on as you start preparing. So after that first 2 years, everything's every 2 years, Trinity and Bell both have quit fighting for that last week.
Okay.
So that's your answer.
All right, well, there we go. Well, both teams have returned to the field. Both are stretching, warming up. And so as we're waiting for their return, let me do the second of our second quarter spotlights. This second quarter defensive spotlight is sponsored by our volleyball team, coached by Mia Lange, Zuela Adam, and T. Lange. This defensive spotlight features Paul Divson. Paul, number 35, a 5'9", 162-pound defensive back. When talking and having a conversation with Paul, Paul said following graduation he desires to attend Tarrant County College and major in the medical field to pursue his life career in nursing. So best of luck to Paul and all the Trinity Trojans as they return to the field of play here in the second half. And not just success this evening, but also through Paul's senior year and then his college career and into what life will have in store for him in his future. So here we are with a minute ticking on the clock for the conclusion of our halftime entertainment here at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with the Trojans of Trinity High leading the Blue Raiders of LD Bell 34-0.
While we're waiting for that, I got another fact for you. This is kind of exciting. Okay, not exciting, but kind of interesting. Come on, I'm trying. We talked about the top draft picks. This was also, if you think about sport champions that year, the sport champions, and again, this is kind of fascinating because you think back, when did all this start? But the Marlins won the World Series. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
The Packers won the Super Bowl. The Bulls won the NBA Finals. That was Michael Jordan's 5th championship.
Right.
The Red Wings won the Stanley Cup. If you're a golf fan, with the Ryder Cup starting tomorrow, Ernie Els was the U.S. Open champion,
right.
the Big Easy. So that's kind of cool as to what was going on. It's been a long time. And this one's interesting. The last co-national champion in college football was in 1997. It was split between the powerhouses Michigan and Nebraska.
Wow.
The BCS began in 1998.
All right.
So we'll thank the BCS for starting the streak. It was all because they created the BCS that Bell has not been able to beat Trinity anymore.
All right, well, there we go. Fun facts from our statistician here for our TSN team. We appreciate all the stats.
And all these things are coming from Jacob. So Jake's doing a good job looking stuff up and finding creative things that have happened. And we got some numbers. So if we get another red hat come wandering out on the field and we have a chance later, we've got some numbers as to really within the streak. What does it really look like?
Right.
Because if ever game 17-16, it's pretty exciting.
Yes.
It's not been.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. And so one of the things I want to share with our viewers and fans, we have a segment entitled Meet the Coach. And just so you know, this week's feature was going to feature Coach Jason Dibble. As many may know, Coach Jason Dibble is one of our coaches on our Trojan coaching staff. And then, of course, his sibling is the new head coach for the LD Bell Blue Raiders. And so what we will do, as the clock has ticked to 0 and we're preparing for the second half of kickoff, we're going to move that segment to next week. And want you to tune in to hear that special segment. as we'll feature Coach Dibble and let you get to know more about him in an exclusive during that Meet the Coach segment.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and this is going to and I'm going to say this right, Jake, so you have to listen. This is going to cause all of my friend to fall down when I say this.
All right.
I kind of hope Bell gets better. And anyone that knows me, that's going to floor them because I've not liked Bell for a long, long time.
Right.
And I have so much respect for TJ Dibble that I want to see him have success. He is a great, great person. Comes from a great family. Father was a coach. I mean, there's a lot of tradition there. And it's the kind of hire that if I'm a Trinity coach, it makes me a little nervous.
Right.
Because he's the kind of guy that will build a program.
Yeah.
And I kind of like them when they have bad coaches and they don't have much of a chance. But he's going to fix it, and I hope he has success. I hope that they go 9-1 and lose 1 week before Trinity does in the playoffs every year.
Sure, I understand that. And you'll get to hear more about that next week when we do this special feature featuring Coach Jason Dibble and everything you wanted to know about the Dibbles.
They're threatening the onside kick.
They are threatening the onside kick. Blue Raiders lining up. They've seen this in film, and it is an onside kick. It takes a bounce. It takes two. It's off the fingertips. It's finally picked up by the Trojan backfield. Number 5, I believe that's JVS Lyons. He's on the turf. He's on the run. The 50, the 35, the 40. He's down to the 30. He's down the far sideline, the 20. He's tripped up, by a heel and a shoestring, and he falls just inside the 10-yard line on the opening kickoff of the second half. And so the Trojans will set up their first possession of play here in the second half. It's going to be 1st and goal.
At the 10-yard line.
10-yard
Every
line.
stinking time. It doesn't matter.
No.
Just so you know, that was really well executed. It was a great kick. It took the right hop. Javis did a really, really good job of coming and attacking the ball from the back line.
Yes.
And then getting around the outside. He's pretty quick.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle, I formation. Cade Bartholomew, number 12, under center. He hands it off to Ollie Gordon. Gordon lowers his shoulder. He's around the left end, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
I hope that people saw that run at home because that was just pretty. I mean, he was solid into a tackle, and he spun out of that. Another defender is right there getting ready to make the play, and he just does a little short stutter step and makes him miss. I mean, it was a full-fledged whiff.
Yes.
So that's the one offensive series I think we'll have for the starters this half, and let's see if we're right on that when the offense comes back on the field.
So the Trojan special teams on. There's the snap, the hold. Hunter's kick is up, and it's good. So 16 seconds ticking off the clock here at Choctaw Stadium. And the Trojans extend the lead by 7 more, leading the Blue Raiders 41-0.
And right now the Blue Raiders are snake bit. That was a well-executed play, and they did almost everything right and ended up giving a run to the 10, and then they defensively are standing there and just had a really good athlete make a miss in the hole and go in for a touchdown. So Trinity's doing some really good things. I hope it continues. Again, we're watching for the sloppy.
Right.
This half. We're hoping we can stay cleaned up. You're going to have a lot of guys that don't get a ton of offensive reps and defensive reps that are going to be in because they're working so hard to prepare our team for the opponent that we're going to play. So we might see some of that, but it needs to be clean. And when I say clean, no penalties.
Right.
So that's kind of what we'll be watching for as we move through the rest of this half.
So both special teams take to the turf here at Choctaw Stadium. The Trojan kicker, number 91, Cotner, teeing up the football. 2 deep back for the Blue Raiders, just inside their 10. Here's the approach. The kick, end over end, high, long. It's fielded. That will be a fair catch as signaled by our officiating crew. And so that ball will be brought out to the Blue Raider 25-yard line where the ball will be marked. And the Blue Raiders will set up shop for their first possession of play here in the second half.
Damon, maybe they had a plan. Maybe they wanted us to score quickly so they could work clock and not have their defense come back out on the field.
Well, we'll wait and see because they did some pretty good clock management. One of the good things they did in the first half at times.
I think there were a total of 50 offensive plays run between the two teams in the first half. You'll see some passing teams run 50 plays in a half by themselves.
Right. So Twins to the near side, shotgun formation. The Blue Raiders take the snap. They hand it off to their quick back. It's going to be a gain of about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Blue Raiders from their own 29.
That's the same play we saw start in the first half, and that it really is a trap play. They're pulling their guard, and instead of coming all the way out to kick out our defensive end, he's kicking out our defensive tackle, and they're trying to run it up in there a little bit tighter. It's a good plan. You don't see that very often. Defensive tackle is not used to getting trapped by the backside guard with the tackle pulling.
So we have more of a trips look from the Blue Raiders. Shotgun formation, lone back, split receiver to the far side.
They're running a chair route possibly. Let's see if we're right.
Man in motion from left to right. Here's the snap.
Nope.
Again, it's a give to the quick back, and he's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Be a loss of at least 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 28-yard line.
And again, this is the Trinity starting defense, so that's what we expected. First series of the second half. Get some guys in there, getting them playing. You've noticed these last 2 weeks, Tovo is playing outside linebacker, or what they call strong safety on the defense. He's been playing safety these last 2 weeks. Daniel Munoz has been out for a couple weeks, and so he's not been back, so they had to make some adjustments. Kiri Galeotti's been on the field for Tovo, and Tovo's gone back to the safety spot that he played all last year.
So a trips formation by the Blue Raiders. They roll to the near side. The pass is pulled in, and that will be sufficient enough yardage for a Blue Raider first down. So 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 35-yard line. Trips look to the far side. Lone back, shotgun formation. Receivers looking to the sideline.
Haven't seen a first down pass from Bell tonight. See if they change it up.
Coach is signaling the play. Here's the snap. It's going to be a give once again to the quick back. He's hitting near the line of scrimmage. Gain of 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Blue Raiders from their own 36-yard line.
And again, we talk about getting behind the chains, and right now that's what Bell's suffering. They've not been able to run the ball at all. They had one nice run early on, and 1.5 is not going to sustain you. But they've not changed things up much. Maybe they're trying to get out of here healthy so they have a chance moving forward. I still think they have a chance to be a playoff team, and maybe that's kind of what they're thinking.
So the Blue Raiders have to take a man in motion. The quarterback under pressure releases. The pass is pulled in by the tight end. It's a gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and third, that's correct. 3rd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 38-yard line.
I think that was Matthew McGrath coming in on that tackle. Was that who that was? That was a nice play. That's a good, solid tackle. Kept his hips low. If we get the red hat out there, I'm going to give you some information that you're going to faint over. But it was a good conversation that I had about some of the officiating.
So trips to the near sideline. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Running back offset to the left. He drops back. That ball is tipped at the defensive line, and that pass will be ruled incomplete. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their own 38-yard line. And the indication is they're going to bring in their special team unit and punt the ball away.
Smart play. You see this in the NFL all the time. You get as much push as you can. When you see you're not going to get to the quarterback, you try to time it and jump, get your hands in the path. Kiri Galeotti did a nice job on that one, got that one batted down.
So punt formation for the Blue Raiders. Back deep for the Trojans, number 2, Ollie Gordon. Here's the snap.
Oh, getting close every time.
The Blue Raiders get the punt away. That ball is going to fall and bounce out of bounds. And the official working his way up will mark the football at the Trojan 39-yard line. So this will bring up their 2nd possession of play here in the first half. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 39.
Looks like Keyshawn Berry has come in at the tailback spot. That is a sudden change of height as we do that. And Mr. Red Hat has come onto the field. All right, here's the piece of information I had, and I had this conversation, and last week y'all heard my diatribe on my feelings about the targeting rule.
Right.
Okay, this is going to shock everybody because anybody that knows me knows that I have a lovely relationship with every official that I've ever been on the sideline with.
Mm-hmm.
The president of the Texas Association of Sports Officials, the head honcho for all the officials, every sport in the state of Texas, is my cousin. Now, if anybody was in the box right now, I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to resuscitate first because both Barry and Damon have hit the floor. But yes, he is my cousin. But I asked him the question, why do more offensive backs not get called for targeting? And he said, sometimes they do, not nearly often enough. So he understands that happens. So I followed that question with, what do you tell officials? You're the head guy. Mm-hmm. What do you tell officials when the offensive player changes levels as the tackle's about to be made? So you're about to get a tackle that's great right through the hips, and the offensive player's pad level drops, and you end up head-to-head.
Right.
And we see that happen quite often. We see targeting thrown because there is head-to-head contact.
Sure.
And he says, I try to get the officials to say if their levels change, play on. No harm, no foul. So at least it's told to them, not always executed.
So the Trojans, with their second possession of play
Keyshawn.
here, they give the ball to the
Attaboy.
fullback. He's off to the left side. He's on the race. The 30, the 20. It's a foot race to the goal line. 10, the 5.
Oh,
he tripped
Keyshawn.
up inside the 5-yard line.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought he had it. Keyshawn Berry, good job. And once again, Keyshawn has a humongous advantage because he's hard to see. And so he snuck through that hole, and he was to the second level before I really think they could find him.
Right. And he was off to a foot race with the Blue Raider defensive back, finally getting tripped up with a shoestring tackle by the Blue Raiders, and we've got a Blue Raider down injury timeout in the end zone.
He may have caught a foot from Keyshawn as he made the tackle, and they kind of fell on top of each other. That was a great effort to come and get him to the ground.
But not before the Trojans have a big play here for the third consecutive first down.
It's pretty incredible.
And third consecutive possession here in the game. It's going to be first and goal. First and goal, Coach Jay, from the 2.
We're at the 2.
We're at the 2.
Let's see if we can get in.
Yeah.
How exciting. That doesn't ever happen.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle, split man far side, I formation. Here's the snap. Cade Bartholomew under center. He hands the ball off to his running back, and the grass is just too tall right there. The running back tripping over the tips, falling to the turf. Looks like no gain on the play.
He may have bounced down to the 1. Looks like we're on the 1.
Are we on the 1? Okay, I didn't see the down marker move. So we'll give him a gain of 1 there.
I don't know that the down marker moved, but we are on the 1.
It's going to be second and goal, Trojans from the 1-yard line.
I think he leaned it left to right, just got a little bit farther over there.
Number 12, Cade Bartholomew under center for the Trojans. They break the offensive huddle.
See
Split
if Cade
man
runs in
far
the quarterback
side.
sneak here.
I formation. Here's the snap. It's a give. He's over the left side. He's hit by the Blue Raider defensive line. It looks like a loss of a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a third and goal from the 2 for the Trojans.
Okay, what you see here is Trinity trying to get a hardworking senior player into the end zone. Keyshawn's a hardworking young man. He deserves the opportunity to score. So they're going to stay with their power attack. You know, it would have been easy to run quarterback sneak twice, but Cade's been in the end zone.
Sure.
So they're trying to get somebody else a chance to score.
Trojans break the offensive huddle again. Split man far side, I formation. Here's the snap. Bartholomew hands it off to his fullback. A little stutter step in the middle over the right guard. He gains the yard back, so it's going to be fourth and goal for the Trojans from the 1-yard line.
Kick it. I would kick it. They're not going to kick it, but I would kick it. Keyshawn's over at the side getting some instruction, taking the play back in. He's telling him get in the end zone. Coach Jensen very quietly told Keyshawn, get in the end zone. We're going to give you the ball. Go score.
So 4th and 1, Trojans from the 1.
Stay in
breaking
gap.
The offensive huddle, I formation, split man this side. There's the handoff to the back, and he's in for a Trojan touchdown.
That's a great call, and if you understand how Trinity works, when they get in what is called an end over wing. So they bring their X receiver to the 3-man sides where the tight end is, and then they also put their second tight end, or what they call their big back, over on that side. It is a 99% tell that we're going to run power on this side. And we ran lead to the weak side, and we had Olive Bell leaning, and we almost had a walk-in. Great play call.
Special teams on for the point after. There's the snap, the hold. Cotner's kick is up, and it's good. So with just a little over 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter here at Choctaw Stadium, the Trojans leading the Blue Raiders by 48.
Hey, that's twice Trinity scored on 4th down. Just one of them was from midfield on a quarterback sneak.
So with that touchdown, let's pause for just a moment and do a senior spotlight here in the third quarter. This third quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our golf team, coached by Coach Barry Fuller. This offensive spotlight features Tavita Uatafa, number 71, a 6'3", 345-pound strong guard and center. In talking with Tavita, his plans following graduation is he desires to attend the University of Texas at Austin. And right now, currently, he is undecided about his major. So best of luck for Tavita, not only in tonight's game and through his senior year, but also in deciding on a major, his college career, and in life.
Hey, let me give you some numbers. We got Red Hat on the field. That's why we have a second to talk to you guys.
Right.
The fancy 33 people are in commercial. But just some numbers from just so you understand, as this streak started to evolve, how it's devolved from the rivalry. Okay, so the least amount of points that Trinity has scored in this winning streak is 20. Over the entire course of the rivalry, Bell has scored 20 or more only 12 times. They have not scored more than 20 during the entire streak.
Okay.
I'll have some more numbers for you here in a minute.
All right, good deal. As we shift our focus back to the field of play, this Trojan special team on for the kickoff. Teeing up the football, their kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner. Here's the approach and the kick. It's a long end over end, will be fielded and then fumbled into the end zone by the Blue Raiders, and that will be a touchback. And the Blue Raiders will bring their third possession of play out to the 25 here in the second half.
Saw that same play last week with Boswell. They went through the hands and went into the end zone. The Boswell player scooped it up, brought it out, and we said he must not have known the rule. He could have just stayed in the end zone with that.
Correct.
Obviously, they have been coached up a little bit. The Bell player understood. Ball went in on its own accord, so he can fall on it even though he touched it.
So third possession of play here in the second half. The Blue Raiders take to the field. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Twins to the near side. Shotgun formation. Lone back. Here's the snap. He rolls to the near side looking for the receiver, and he's wrapped up and brought down to the turf by the Trojan defense.
That's a really nice rush. It's a good job getting off the block. Number 96 for the Trojans did a really nice job just defeating the block. That would be Ricky Lolahea. Ricky's just a junior. You know, he's one of those small ones. He's just 6'4", 270.
Loss of 7 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 17 for the Blue Raiders from their own 18-yard line. Break the offensive huddle. Twins far side. Split receiver near. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Direct handoff to the quick back, and he's immediately brought down by the Trojan defense. A loss of 2 more on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 19 for the Blue Raiders from their own 16-yard line.
I'm not sure he was brought down by the Trojan defense. I'm not sure that the guy didn't get to the line of scrimmage and say, there's nowhere to go. Let's get down. Self-preservation.
So the Blue Raiders break the offensive huddle. Twins to the far side, split near, shotgun. He takes the snap, drops back, looking across the middle. He lets it fly. It's a long ball and just beyond the fingertips of the Trojan defensive backfield.
Demarius Dean, he kind of deserves one. He's the one that had the interception taken away. Another just burner for Trinity. He can really, really go. Hard to get behind him in the secondary.
So the pass falling incomplete for the Blue Raiders. That's going to bring up a 4th and 19 from their own 16-yard line. Special teams are in. Punt formation Coming up for the Blue Raiders, back deep for the Trojans, number 2, Ollie Gordon, standing right at the midfield stripe. Here's the snap.
Got a chance. Oh.
Just barely missed it. That ball's going to hit at the 45, take a Blue Raider bounce, and it's going to bounce down through
That's not
the 40.
a penalty. You do not throw that penalty, ref.
And that ball will be downed by the Blue Raider at the Trojan 35-yard line.
Gee willikers. That would have had to be called. If they would have thrown that penalty, they almost threw a penalty on Ollie for blocking the Bell defender coming down the field.
Right.
And the lead official would have had to say, penalty, Trojans being mean, because there was no foul on that play.
No. So the Trojans, with their third possession of play here in the second half, break the offensive huddle, twins to the near side, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. He's to the 40, makes a cut 45, the 50, the 45, the 40. It's going to be a foot race to the 30, the 20. It's going to be to the 10. He's finally going to be pushed out of bounds, but as Coach Jay said, there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
I think they called a hold. Once again, hidden yards, penalties, hidden yards. The runner on that, in case anybody's wondering, that was Ethan Williams, the freshman running back, is getting some snaps at quarterback. Ethan's up from Central Junior High.
Indication by our officiating crew, it is holding charge to the Trojan offense. And this is partly what we were talking about, even with our second team coming in, trying to play a second half clean, as penalty-free as possible. And obviously that hurts a huge play.
It's a little different than the extracurricular penalties that they often get. That was just somebody got their hands to the outside, and you'd have to understand how practices go sometimes. We blow the whistle so quick they don't really ever finish because we're trying to get plays run and we're also trying to keep kids safe. And,
sure.
And so they don't finish blocks all the time, and that time got their hands up in the way. See if we repeat this, maybe go in the opposite direction.
So a mark off of 5 on the play. Here's the snap by the Trojans. Again, quarterback keeper. Gain of 2 on the play. Gain of 1 on the play. 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Trojans from their own 32-yard line.
Ethan's probably thinking that wasn't as fun as the last one. That last one was a whole lot more fun.
A lot more fun. So the Trojans working with a second team unit here.
Good to see these guys getting some snaps.
Breaks the offensive huddle. It's a shotgun formation, twins formation to the near side. Here's the snap. Again, it's a keep by the quarterback. He's over the right guard. He's up to the 45. Thought for just a moment he was going to break that, but he's tripped up by the Blue Raiders. Brought down around the 46-yard line. Flag on the far sideline.
I don't see him coming back. Bell may have lined up in the neutral zone. Yeah.
Indication by our head official. Defensive offside against the Blue Raiders. That penalty will be declined by the Trojans. And that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
The coaches are really excited about Ethan. He has a little giddy up to him, and we've seen him some on some reverses, things like that. He can run a little bit. I see that Cade is coming back into the game for this snap. Okay, and here's probably what's about to happen. They're about to run a play that Ethan, as the quarterback, under center, doesn't feel real comfortable with. So they're going to bring Cade back in, still trying to get the ball to some different players. It's a really good run. Last week we said the designated fullback, trap runner, that would be Manuel Perez. Now I found out the scoop on Manuel. Manuel has not played football since his freshman year. He's a senior this year. I think he was on the baseball team and decided to come back out this year, but he was very, very successful his freshman year as a running back, and they're trying to get him worked back into the system. They're excited to have him back out.
So a gain of 6 on the play by the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 inside Blue Raider territory at their 48-yard line. I formation. Cade Bartholomew under center. Takes a snap, hands it off to his tailback. He's across the 30, the 25. He's down to the 20. It's a foot race to the 5, and he'll finally be knocked out of bounds by the Blue Raiders down at the Blue Raider 2-yard line.
Good by the second offense. Doing a really good job opening up some holes. I believe this is the same starting defense that Bell has had, so it's really good to see these guys coming off the line of scrimmage, getting their hands up, making plays. I believe that somebody didn't stop talking and may have got himself a penalty.
So after a real nice gain by the Trojans, we have a dead ball.
And it may have been Ethan.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I believe, is what's to come here against the Trojan offense. Here's the call.
Okay, they should pick the sticks back up. It should not be 1st and goal. It should be 1st and 10. This is a dead ball penalty. If they don't put the sticks back up, they've made a mistake over on the sideline. And right now our coaches ought to be telling them, hey, you need to get back in play. Get off your cell phone over there, dudes running the sticks, and get yourself back up. Oh, they're mistaken. This should be 1st and 10.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle. Twins to the far side. I formation. Bartholomew takes a snap, hands it off to the tailback. He advances the ball up inside the 15-yard line. Going to be a gain of about 5 on the play.
This rule was not enforced correctly. And as a coach, you get frustrated by these things. These guys, they know the rules. They know how to do things. And when you have a dead ball foul, the penalty is enforced, but it's not 15 yards from the spot where they didn't set the sticks yet.
Right.
So they move the ball back 15 yards and then reset the sticks at that point. And this time they just chose not to do that, and those guys over there on the chains are still on their phones. So I don't know exactly what is going on with that one. Trinity man down on this one.
So 2:16 remaining in the third quarter of play. With the player injury timeout, let's take an opportunity to do another senior spotlight. This third quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our swim team, coached by Rich Campanero. This defensive spotlight features Nick Matale. Nick, number 97, a 6-foot, 195-pound defensive lineman. Following graduation, Nick desires to attend Texas A&M University, where he plans to major in history. So best of luck to Nick throughout not only this game and football season, but through his senior year, college, and into life's future.
If I was to take a shot at that name, I would probably go with Nick Mataeli.
Mataeli, thank you. I think that is absolutely correct, Jay.
I don't know if it's
that.
I don't know if it's absolutely correct or not, but I've had to learn those names for a long time.
No, I think Mataeli is correct, and I think he and I talked about that. My problem was I forgot to write the phonetics down on my page. So thought I knew it, thought I had it, and did not get it. And so my apologies to Nick and family if you're listening. But best of luck to you as we return to the field of competition. Bartholomew takes a snap, pitches it out to his tailback, advances the ball up near the 10-yard line. He's finally hit by the Blue Raider defense, pushed back. So they'll mark the football at the 10. That's going to bring up 3rd and goal for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 10-yard line.
Be a great time to be able to throw the ball, but the Trinity's kind of hamstrung by this. They're not going to be able to do that just because of the score. A good time to talk a little bit about some of the scores that we've seen in the past. Remember we said we had some numbers. Right. Over the course of the streak, the average score for the games have been 42.2 to 9.9. Now this one's kind of interesting. When Coach Lineweaver was here, the average, so that would be through the first 18 years of the streak. I'm sorry, he wasn't there in 98. And okay, Jake is correcting me. But through the first several years of the streak during Coach Lineweaver, it was 40.7 to 11.5. In the years since Coach Jensen has taken over, it has been 50.2 to 7.3. Wow. Coach Jensen doesn't like them much either. Trinity has scored over 60 points one time in the streak, over 54 times, and over 40 10 times. And this tonight makes it 11 for that one.
So a change in offensive personnel here on 3rd and goal. Snapped number 26. He's doing a little dance in the backfield. He finally tripped up, and it's going to be a loss of 5-6 on the play That's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Trojans.
I don't think so. Remember how we say silly things cause penalties?
Yes.
I believe that a Bell player pulled the helmet off of a Trinity player and was flagged for that. So we may get an automatic first down on this play.
So a conference by the officiating crew at the Blue Raider 10 as they sort out the penalty here. Here's the call by the head official. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct being charged to the Blue Raider defense. So they'll mark off the penalty, and that'll be an automatic first down for the Trojans.
Jacob, when we look at these numbers, do the 50 and 60 include the 40 plus, or is that between 40 and 50? Okay. So as we look at those numbers again, during the streak, there have been 15 times, and tonight makes 16 times that Trinity has scored more than 40 points in this to beat Bell. The most Bell has ever scored against Trinity is 36.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle. Movement prior to the snap. Whistle and flags fly. It's going to be a procedure penalty being charged to the Trojan offense. So the officials will mark off 5, respot the down marker. We're still looking at a 1st and goal here in this possession, Coach Jay.
This has been the longest 1st and goal in the history of mankind. We can't go. I mean, this is 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. We are running some clock here, though. We're almost through the 3rd quarter.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle, shotgun formation, twins to the far side. Here's the snap, give to the halfback over the left side. Gain of 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for the Trojans from their own 12-yard line. As the clock continues to roll here in the 3rd quarter with 40 seconds left and ticking away, the Trojans a 2nd and goal from the Blue Raider 12. Breaking the offensive huddle, number 12, Cade Bartholomew in his quarterback. Under center, I formation, twins to the far side, takes a snap, pitches it out to the running back. He's around the far side, turns the corner, and he's finally forced out of bounds down around the Blue Raider 8-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal for the Trinity offense.
I believe they're going to let the clock run out, and we're going to be able to start the 4th quarter with a 3rd down on that other end.
And the clock does tick away. There's the signal and whistles by our officiating crew, signaling the end of our 3rd quarter of play here at Choctaw Stadium, with the Trojans leading the Blue Raiders by 48.
With the game in the situation that it is right now, outside of Red Hat walking onto the field, I would expect this quarter to go pretty quickly.
So with the quarter break, let's pause for just a moment and give another Trinity Sports Network shout out. This special shout out is being sent out to Miss Reagan Roberts, one of our Trinity High School teachers and student council sponsor, who is tuning in to our weekly broadcast and enjoying Trojan football. Reagan is a Trojan football fan who supports Trinity week in and week out by the many things that she does. And she has been instrumental in coordinating the canned food drive for the Black and Blue Showdown at Trinity High School. She will also be instrumental, along with her team and Stu Cole Council, in the upcoming homecoming events in weeks to come. So from all of us at the TSN crew, and faculty and staff of Trinity High School, we want to say thank you to Miss Reagan Roberts for your successful endeavors, support, and most importantly, team, congratulations to Miss Reagan Roberts on her new engagement.
I didn't know about that. Reagan Roberts is on the math department. I work with her. Wow, she's smart. She is a really good teacher. Really enjoy working with her. She's helped me a ton in my classes.
And so we want to send that special shout out to her. Thank you for everything from Trinity High School and our TSN team. So as we return to the field of play, the Trojans, with their 4th possession of play.
See, it's a great opportunity to run a play-action pass. You probably score, but it just wouldn't look right. So you're kind of bound by this. It's a great opportunity to work on things. Now you notice they brought Cade back in. They had the freshman in earlier. The freshman is from Central. Central runs a different offense than we do. They're never under center. So taking snaps under center is a work in progress for Ethan.
Right.
So if it's an under center play, Cade's going to take it. If they're in the gun, they feel comfortable with Ethan being back there. So that's why you see the change. Ethan didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They just changed the way they're running their offense right now, and they needed somebody comfortable taking the snap. Mr. Red Hat is out there again. Him and the referee that he's talking with, they ought to be best friends by the time we're over. They definitely should be exchanging Twitters.
They have spent quality time together tonight here on our field of play. And so as we prepare to start the fourth quarter of play, we finally get the signal that our commercial from CW33 coming to an end. Trojans breaking the offensive huddle. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew under center. Lone back, twins to the far side. Here's the snap. It's the give right up the gut. He stays on his feet, moving his feet. Now it's a push to the pile, to the 3, to the 2. It's a lean forward. Referee's moving in to spot the football. Looks like that ball will be down inside the 2-yard line. And so that's going to bring up a 4th and goal for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 2-yard line.
Have to go for this. Be interesting, will they go back to that weak side run with the unbalance to the other side? That's what they scored with earlier from a similar spot. Or are they going to go with their power and go right at them? I would go away from number 90 if it were my choice. Looks like we're lining up strong to him. The give to the weak side is still there. They went with a wide pitch. Got good upfield penetration immediately.
So the Blue Raiders deny the score for the Trojans on 4th down, and the ball will go over to the Blue Raider on downs and possession. So this will bring up the Blue Raiders' 4th possession of play here in the second half. Be 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 5-yard line.
I was going to say earlier that Red Hat talking to that official, I've had dates shorter than that in my youth.
Oh, some have been very quick. I could understand. So on 1st down, the Blue Raiders break the offensive huddle. Twins to the near side, split to the far. Whistle, indication by the officiating crew. Timeout going to be charged to the Trojan defense.
Okay, Trinity's trying to get guys on the field. So I don't think they had everybody out there that they wanted, so they're trying to get some different players out there, different personnel. Sometimes when this happens, it takes a minute to get everybody back engaged in the game. This, it's 48-0. I see players over on the sideline enjoying Requiem with their student section. So it's hard to keep everybody engaged.
Right.
By the way, if you ever get to go to Trinity Pep Rally, it's well worth your 40 minutes. I've never seen anything quite like it. We have new teachers that come in. I always find a way to wiggle over to them, say, like this at your old school?
Right.
Never heard one of them say yes.
No, not at all. Not at all. I will say the spirit has returned to the campus of Trinity High School, and as you look across the field of play, you see the student body very energetic this evening as the Blue Raiders take their 4th possession of play on 1st down. It's a give to the back, gain of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 from the Blue Raiders from their own 7-yard line.
I wonder how many times over the course of the game on 1st down they've given to their back and run for 1 or 2.
Several.
Most.
Maybe every time.
Maybe. It's close.
So a trips formation to the near side. Shotgun formation for the Blue Raider quarterback. 2nd and 8 from their 7-yard line.
Trinity looks to be manned up out here on the outside. Let's see if we send somebody off an edge, try to get some quick pressure.
Here's the snap by the Blue Raiders. It's a give to the quick back over the left side of the line. Looks like he advances the ball back near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Bring up 3rd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from their 8-yard line. So the Blue Raiders break the offensive huddle. Similar look, trips to the near side. Quarterback in shotgun formation with a lone back. 3rd and 7 from their 8. Here's the snap. He drops back. He's looking to the flat. Oh, that ball is tipped by the Trojan defensive back. And Coach Jay, I think he was seeing 6.
I think he was shocked that it got over the receiver's head. He was working behind the play, playing safe, and it got over his head and it was on top of him. He wasn't quite able to react. But it was an opportunity to walk in. That's really fun to do, to be a defensive player and get an opportunity to score.
So that'll bring up a 4th and 7 for the Blue Raiders at their 8-yard line. They bring in their special teams. So on 4th down, they're here to punt. I don't see anyone.
No, we're in punt safe. There's no reason to put anybody back. Golly, it's close every time. Just let the ball roll. The worst thing that can happen is you try to field it and you end up with a penalty, you end up with a fumble. Just let the ball roll. Again, I think it's been determined that Trinity's got a good chance of winning this one.
So the Blue Raider punt is away, rolling out of bounds. The officials will mark the football at the Trojan 45-yard line.
Bell's still rolling out their starting defensive front.
This will bring up their 5th possession of play here for the Trojans. 1st and 10 from the Trojan 45. Indication by our officiating crew, we're going to have a commercial timeout here at Choctaw Stadium.
You got any businesses you want to send a shout out to? We can have our own commercial here if you'd like.
I will say, for all those who are listening, that we will be taking a week off next week because next week will be our varsity bye week.
That is true.
And so if you like football, you'll want to catch both of our JV teams who will be in action next week. I believe they're going ahead.
Probably Pascal. Is that our last game of the season?
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and compete with the Panthers of Pascal High next Thursday evening, and I believe that will be at Pennington Field. Yes, a 5:30 kickoff for the Trojan football team, JV Red, and then the JV Black, the Trinity football team, to follow at 7 p.m. So if you like football on a weekly basis, you'll want to catch the JV teams as they play next Thursday evening. And the varsity will take a rest during their bye.
I think we'll get to go visit the iconic Farrington Field at the end of this year.
Yes, we will. Over in Fort Worth, be our last game of the season.
Well, hang on. Okay, got a couple new backs in. As we said, they've got Manuel Perez in at the tailback, trying to get him some reps. And also Ethan is back in at the quarterback, back in the gun. Interesting from around the district, I didn't realize there's another Thursday night game, but it was really close. The Weatherford Kangaroos beat Halton Buffaloes 47-16.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming.
So I was just handed an update in regards to our 3-6A football. The 3-6A football coaches voted, and this just happened a couple of weeks ago from the looks of it maybe. But they voted to move the 9th grade, the freshman, and the JV games, which were the week of September 30th, to the week of November 4th. So they switched it back, is what I'm reading here.
I got you.
And so, no, there will be
we have a week off of football.
There will be a week off of football. Both JV and varsity teams will have a bye next week. So as we return to the field of play, Cade Bartholomew, quarterbacking for the Trojans, takes a snap, looks to the far side, flips it out. It's caught by the receiver, but it'll be a loss of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Trojans from their own 40-yard line.
Okay, this is tough on the coaches right now because you have a punt team that you send out there, and most of those guys are first and second teamers, and we're a little bit farther down the bench than that. And getting them back engaged and getting them on the field in a timely fashion is sometimes quite a mystery to do. But it appears that we've got everybody out there. The center was a little late getting out there earlier. Somebody needs to be up on the line or off the field. Okay, we've got 11. We're good to go. Very good. Nobody back for Bell this time.
Here's the snap by the Trojan special teams. The kick is up, a little bit wobbly. It's going to bounce at the 25. It takes kind of a Trojan bounce and dies. And the Trojans will kill the ball at the Blue Raider 24-yard line, where the Blue Raiders will take over their 5th possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10, Blue Raiders.
7:17 to go. I told you this quarter should go pretty quickly. It's moving along. You know what the worst thing about Thursday games is, Damon?
What's that?
Friday. All these students over here that are having a wonderful time are going to have to come to our classes tomorrow and learn.
And stay awake.
My students were shocked that I gave them homework tonight.
So the Blue Raiders on their 5th possession, 1st and 10 from their own 25, take the snap, give it off to their quick back. It's going to be a gain of 2 on the play for the Blue Raiders.
Hey, guess what they did? Ran for 2 on first down.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Blue Raiders from their own 27-yard line.
Damon, if we'd only known, you could have recorded that the very first time they did it, and we could have saved some words.
So the Blue Raiders breaking their offensive huddle. Twins formation to the near side, split receiver far. Quarterback, as always, in a shotgun formation with a lone back. Man in motion to the near side. The snap, the give again to the quick back. He's up to and across the 30, maintains his feet.
Ball's on the ground.
And the ball's loose and on the ground. Looks like it's going to be recovered, though, by the Blue Raiders. And that will be sufficient enough yardage for a Blue Raider first down.
I think they called him down anyway, so they got it twice. They got it from the referees and they got it on the recovery.
So that's to be sufficient enough yardage to move the chains. 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from their own 36-yard line.
Okay, now Trinity would really like to have the shutout. The coaches would really like to get everybody in the game. So Bell's still playing with their starters. So they're going to get some bigger plays here.
So the Blue Raiders take the snap, hand the ball off to their back. He advances the ball out and across the midfield stripe. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Blue Raider first down. Officials mark the football. 1st and 10, Blue Raiders from the Trojan 49-yard line.
Picked up their pace a little bit now.
Blue Raiders take the snap, hand the ball off again to the quick back. Gain of a little more than 2 yards.
He got 3.
Okay, we'll give him 3. Gain of 3 on the play for the Blue Raiders. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 at the Trojan 46-yard line. And it appears that the Trojans bring in the first-team defense as the football is advanced into Trojan territory.
Okay, that's a signal that, hey, we're wanting to get everybody in the game and you're still playing with your starters.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. Now we're going to bring our starters back.
Yeah, if you want to do it that way, that's fine.
So 2nd and 7 for the Blue Raiders from the Trojan 46. First team's on the field. Here's the snap, the give, and he is gobbled up. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play for the Blue Raiders. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Blue Raiders from the Trojan 48-yard line.
Just so you know, Bell has guys that don't get to play all the time too.
Right.
And this may be a subtle message to the new head coach that there's a point that you just say, let's get to next week.
Right. And let people play.
Right.
Let people play. Save the other for another day. With 4:18 ticking on the clock, 3rd and 9 for the Blue Raiders. Trips to the near side. Shotgun formation for the quarterback. Man in motion. Here's the snap. He picks it up off the turf. It's a quick dump to the running back, and he's quickly brought down by that Trojan defense. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and 11 for the Blue Raiders from the midfield stripe.
That was Javis Lyons closed on that. He did a really good job coming from a safety spot to come finish that play off. And it looks like we're going to force the punt. Let's see, make sure. And Trinity will be in punt safe. If you got your fake punt on, now's a great opportunity to run it. But that was a message series. That was just a message that there's a point when we say we're good that you need to say we're good.
Right.
That happened a lot of times as a JV coach that we would try to call off the dogs. Oh, every time. We'd try to call off the dogs and they wouldn't. And every once in a while you just had to send them back out just to let them understand.
So the Blue Raiders on special teams, they get the punt away. The official moving up the sideline marks the football, and this will bring about the Trojans' 6th possession of play. here in the second half. With that change of possession, let me pause right here and do a fourth quarter senior spotlight. This fourth quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our Trinity Wrestling team, head coach Travis Clark and assistant coach Anthony Bergamini. This offensive spotlight features Manuel Perez, number 22, a 5'9", 175-pound running back. In talking with Manuel about his plans following graduation, he desires to attend Texas State University to play baseball and pursue a career while majoring in architecture.
There you go.
So best of luck to Manuel in tonight's competition through the rest of the football season and on into his college and life career.
I'm glad to see Manuel is wanting to build a career.
That's a great one. That's a good one.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Mr. Red Hat, they're having another date down here on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we got an official timeout here with 3:21 remaining in the game here at Choctaw Stadium.
Do you realize if Channel 33 would have left us alone, we'd been home a long time ago?
Long time ago. I've got, almost 9:35 on the clock.
They have created a 2.5 hour game that could have been done in 2.
But I know our fans are enjoying our broadcast, or at least that's what I'm told. So I hope that we are entertaining, and at times through the broadcast we're able to give some not only stats but some real insight to the game.
I'm thinking I'd have been watching 33. They're professionals.
Back to the field of play. Trojans break the huddle. They have twins to the far side. Snap the football. They hand it off to their back. He's going to gain about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Trojans from their own 36-yard line.
I think Bell got the message. I do not see their starting defensive front end now. I see a lot of other players that are getting an opportunity.
Looks like a complete switch.
And they may not have depth. They may have a couple guys in that are the same guys just because it's a depth issue. They don't have the numbers out that Trinity has, but there is a sudden change as to who is on the field.
So it was a gain of 5 actually for the Trojans, bring up 2nd and 5 for the Trojan 36. They break the huddle. Different look here for the Trojans offensively. They take the snap, hand the ball off to the back. Little stiff arm, bounces to the outside. He's down the sideline, finally knocked out of bounds at the Trojan 48-yard line, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Elijah Campbell, the junior running back, he had a little bit of wiggle to him right then. Don't necessarily like to see him running to the sideline, but if you can outrun them and stiff arm them, that's a pretty good play.
So the ball spotted at the Trojan 48, 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Looks like we're moving under 2 minutes left. I don't see them stopping the clock much more.
Clock continuing to wind and run here at Choctaw Stadium. Trojans breaking the offensive huddle. Twins to the near side.
Attaboy. Love it when the quarterback lines them upright. That's a good understanding of what's going on in the offense.
Man in motion. Quarterback takes the snap, hands the ball off. A little move there, stutter step. Finally bounces around to the outside, and he's finally going to be forced out of bounds in Blue Raider territory. Be a gain of 5 more on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Trojans from the Blue Raider 47-yard line. Let's take an opportunity to do another senior spotlight. This fourth quarter defensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our soccer teams, head coaches Tracy Duran and Carlos Quintanilla, and assistant coaches Patty Callahan, Trent Abbott, and David Capps. This defensive spotlight features Ronald Lika, number 98, a 6-foot, 191-pound defensive lineman. When speaking with Ronald about his plans following graduation, he desires to attend Texas Christian University to pursue football and is currently undecided in his major. So best of luck to Ronald throughout this football season, his senior year, and into his college career.
Snap came back a little bit hot, didn't catch it. Good awareness by the fullback to go pick that up.
So the Trojans retain possession of the football. An 18-yard loss here on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 28 from their own 30-yard line.
That's Brenton Garcia. That's good awareness on that one.
9 seconds on the play clock.
This will be the last play of the game.
Official clock now down to 10. We're going to get a delay call, I believe, right here. Yes. Whistle and a flag.
And that'll be the last play of the – oh, they're going to stop it at 2. Oh, my goodness.
So 2 seconds remaining on the actual clock here at Choctaw Stadium. They'll mark off 5 yards against the Trojan offense. The Trojans will line it up, and they'll have one more play from scrimmage in this evening's rivalry.
I think they won the sloppy battle. I was happy to see that. We've had a couple of penalties, and those things are going to happen just because of the number of practice snaps that you get in practice.
Right.
You know, this group doesn't see that many snaps, but I haven't seen anything horribly sloppy. You know, we missed a snap just then, and there were a couple things that just weren't the best. However, on the big grand scheme of things, things went pretty well. I don't know if they're going to start the clock right here and run it out before we can get this snap. Oh, 10-second runoff because of the delay of game. So that's the ball game.
And that is our final 2 seconds ticking off the clock here at Choctaw Stadium. And that will be the end of the 2021 district rivalry between the Blue Raiders of LD Bell and the Trojans of Trinity High. With your final score here at Choctaw Stadium, the Trojans of Trinity 48, the Blue Raiders of Bell, nothing.
Found a new guy carry the flag. Looks like maybe number 2. I don't know what else he could do.
I want to do a special shout out right here at the end to a young man. I don't know if he's listening this evening or not, but Ahu, one of our students at Trinity High School. If I'm not mistaken, Ahu walked up to Coach B. That's Coach Rodney Bartholomew, our offensive coordinator. We were talking today during lunch, and Coach B asked him, he said, Nahu, he said, what's going to be the score? And if I'm not mistaken, Nahu looked at Coach B and said, the score is going to be 48-0. So a big shout out to a special young man, Nahu. If I got that right, you called it right. A final score here at Choctaw Stadium. The Trojans over the Blue Raiders, 48-0, as both teams gather near the midfield stripe. Number 2, Ollie Gordon, with the Trojan flag into the end zone.
Taking it back to the Trojan crew.
As we pause.
I got some stats. You want any stats?
Let's go ahead before the bands begin. Let's go ahead and take a stat or two. What you got right there, Coach Jay?
Total first downs. Trinity only had 13. Bell ended up with 8. Total yards. Trinity had 399 to Bell's 103. Passing yards at the end of the day, Trinity's 20 yards outdid Bell's 9, which is not good for a team that's in the shotgun all the time. Bell was a whopping 5 for 16 throwing. Trinity was 3 for 4. There were 379 rush yards for Trinity to 94 for Bell. Penalties, I think we had 6 for 81 at the half. We ended up with 9 for 111. 3 for 50, 3 for 32 for the other team. 2 turnovers total. Running the ball, Ollie had 18 carries for 246 yards and 5 touchdowns. Both Keyshawn Berry and Ethan Williams got to 61 yards. That's a pretty good job by them. And then I don't see that. Kedrick had 2 catches for 23 yards. Cameron Ransom had 1 for -3 on a quick screen that we threw to the outside. So numbers-wise, it's not going to be impressive-looking numbers. It was much more of an impressive-looking game.
Right. Absolutely. And so as the two teams conclude their sportsmanship at midfield, each separate to their adjacent sidelines for post-game rituals. And so as they do that, I just want to remind all of our football fans and viewers of our broadcast, or those that are just listening in, that next week all Trinity football teams will be on a bye. So everybody will get a week's rest coming in, and we'll give you a little bit more information about our upcoming schedule in 2 weeks. But at this point in time, I want to direct your attention to the adjacent sideline where the Trojans of Trinity High are engaging in what I believe are gymnastics, but are lining up to perform their ceremonial sippy towel.
I think some of the cheerleaders are showing off their ability to tumble. This is the 8th shutout in the series for Trinity, and the 16th time that Trinity has broken 40 points in the game.
All right. So let's pause just a moment as the team lines up.
And I think one more thing, and Jake, tell me if I'm wrong, does this put Trinity over 1,000 points in the streak? Trinity has gone now during the streak. The overall score is 1,019 points to 228. So
the Trojans continue their 24-year streak here at Choctaw Stadium, winning the game 48-0 over the Blue Raiders of LD Bell. And at this time we pause as the Trinity High School Marching Band performs the alma mater of Trinity High. Any final thoughts, Coach Jay?
As successful as we were in that win, I think we're still a work in progress. If you look at the yards and how the yards broke down in this game, Ollie was probably 85% of them. And as a defense, if I can find a way to stop him, I feel like I've stopped Trinity. We're going to need to continue to work on our passing game. And I've made this statement, and one of these days I'm going to talk Coach Jensen into letting them do it. But with games like this, I would love on the third series of the game to come out and work on our 2-minute drill and work on throwing the ball under, it's not 2 minutes obviously, but you can pretend.
Right.
Work on the communication to get the plays in, because if the first time you ever do it is when you got to have it.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And if we're playing teams that we feel like we have an opportunity to beat over the next 3 or 4 weeks, if you get 3 or 4 dress rehearsals during games of doing those kind of things, and maybe you don't get a first on that one, and maybe you end up turning the ball over, you got to count on the rest of your team to kind of step up. But the movement of personnel on and off the field, the signaling, the pressure of doing things quickly, I would love to see Trinity do something like that over these next 2 or 3 weeks, just to practice it. First half, third series, we're going to do this.
Right.
And then stick to it and make yourself do it. Way back in the day, Trinity had a thing where they had co-starters. And on the third series of the game, kids that were co-starters were coming in. And sometimes it was pretty painful to take your main group out and put that next group in. But in the long scheme of things, you had kids that were playing in pressure situations, prepared to play if somebody needs to go in.
Right.
I think the 2-minute drill and having Ollie go through the 2-minute drill and get used to quarterbacking under that situation, under pressure, I would love to see that. So if I had my one wish, that would be the one wish that I would ask for the next time we play.
I don't think, given the rivalry between the two teams, that the number of penalties and yardage from penalties is any surprise to us, just because of the emotion on the field during these such rivalry games.
Probably 3 just bad penalties. Block way behind the play that was not necessary. We got one down late that I don't know, unless he said something, I don't know what happened. I hate to see that, especially from a younger player. And then there was a defensive penalty on just 3 steps after the play, going and hitting the quarterback, that took away a turnover. But outside of that, I think it was pretty much under control. I really feel like the defense may be ahead of the offense right now in eliminating those kind of penalties. Mm-hmm. So it's still something that has to be addressed, and it's something that you don't want something silly like that to be the reason you don't get to play the next week.
Right. Well, Coach Jay, as always, we appreciate you for being with us in the booth, your experience, history, knowledge, and especially for your sidekick there, our statistician, Jacob. Thank you, everything, Jacob. And I know he's also been instrumental in helping us with our new Twitter handle. And if you're just catching this late, our new Twitter handle, you can catch us on Twitter at TSN Broadcasts. And so we welcome your questions, any other inquiries that you might have. Send those to us through our Twitter, and we'll be happy to look at those, read through those, and even comment on those as we have time and opportunity. With all that being said, on behalf of our entire Trinity Sports Network crew, thank you for joining us and listening in this evening to this exciting event featuring the Trinity Trojans. Until we return in 2 weeks and travel to Crowley to compete in the Region 1, District 3, Game 6, featuring the Panthers of North Crowley High. Game time will feature a 7 p.m. kickoff. This has been Dr. Big Daddy Emery saying, tease up and go Trojans!